and welcome to La Lucha is Real podcast. I'm your host, Angel.
And I'm Edith.
And we have some special guests for you guys. These guys are our amazing new friends. They have been on national TV. They have gone viral on social media.
They have an awesome game.
Yes, they have an awesome game. They are the creators of Sabo. And this is our friend Jess and Carlos.
Hi, everyone.
Hi, everybody.
Don't be shy. Don't be shy.
We have a whole ass crowd. But yeah, I know. So thank you so much. We really appreciate you guys coming to Vegas and partying with us later today.
It's fun.
How did are you guys excited to be here in Vegas?
No, yeah. Well, for me, it's my first podcast with Carlos, so you guys are my first. So thank you guys for inviting us.
Yeah.
It was really fun to network and just connect with people and just talk. I don't know, when I met you guys, I'm like, okay, like you guys kind of fall into my groove of my sense of humor.
Okay, that's good.
That's important.
That's good because it's awkward. Have you guys ever met like somebody like, and you're like, oh,
Yeah.
like a little taken back, like,
or you gotta try a little harder to kind of like, I don't know, set a vibe or
Yeah, I think that's happened. Probably not in the industry, I think, but like definitely, like you'll hang out with like a new group of friends, and then you'll be like, "Let's take another shot," and they'll be like, "I'm good, man, thanks." And it's like, "Okay, never mind." All right, you don't gotta drink, but
Wrong crowd.
Just cheers with us at least, you know.
Or when you introduce like different groups of friends, and then that's kind of like awkward.
Oh, yeah.
And then you feel like the middleman because you're like, oh, I don't know. I've been there. I've been
When
there.
your new friends meet your old friends, and then they hang out without you.
that's hard.
How did you guys? I don't know if I asked this. How did you guys find us? First of all, because I know like I don't even know, how was the exchange when we first connected? And it was on social media, and then I think you guys like saw like I don't know if you saw one of our videos or something, and then
I think you did, no?
Yeah, I want to start off by saying thank you so much for giving us our flowers. Me and Jess really appreciate it because I think coming into this industry has been so different from anything we've ever done, like ever, and so like everything's just been like really accommodating, and I don't know, it's just really fun and getting a chance to like speak with me and Jess to you, especially like after doing like that whole TV stuff, right? Like this is our first time talking about it really, and so that'll be really cool. But yeah, I think we stumbled on one of just your videos, and then we started listening, and then we started seeing the viral videos that you did for the Sabo stuff, and we were like, we should send them again.
Yeah.
We should communicate with them.
Your comedy and sense of humor, I'm like, dude, they're
It's
perfect.
the comedy and the sense of humor.
They're like, I need them to see the game. Like, I want them to play it because you guys are already doing that. So.
Yeah.
I think that's the most important thing because I mean you'll get that right away, right? When you listen to a podcast, maybe it'll be too slow, or like they're just not joking enough for you, and then it's like, I'm out. I gotta step away from it.
What kind of podcast do you guys normally listen to? Like, what's your guys' vibe?
I started with true crime.
That's her thing.
Or anything related to scary stories, just haunting stuff like that. That's what I started with, and then after that, it
like
was
paranormal stuff too. Oh my god, that's my shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
What was the one you used to listen to?
It was and that's why we drink.
And that's why we drink.
That it was like a paranormal true crime podcast.
That one.
Yeah, it was really nice.
That one scared me. I get scared. I'm a really big scaredy cat. Yeah, I get scared so easily.
You see, I'm like that too. Yeah. That's why I kind of stay away from the true crime, especially because I know it actually happened.
Yeah, it actually happened.
So I'm just like, it makes me a little anxious. But I like the paranormal though. I like all that.
Yeah, the paranormal stuff.
Yeah, the paranormal.
But not the true crime stuff.
Yeah, because I know.
So you like hearing about ghosts and spirits?
Yeah, because I've had like experiences with ghosts and spirits, so it's like
that's true.
It's a little bit easier to say.
Like, I can handle that.
I can handle that. But tell me about kidnapping. No, thank you.
Yeah. What kind of podcast do you listen to, Carlos?
To be honest with you, probably just like a lot of like Joker podcasts, right? Like they'll just mess around, do a lot of jokes. Like I Am Friends is a big one. Viva Con Huevos is a big one. I'll be listening to them. I don't drive to work, but I do listen to them like when I'm driving, just like to go to Jess's grandma's house. And if I need something like calmer, I'll listen to. I listen to IE and Besties a lot because it's girls, right? And they're not always like cracking jokes like IE and Friends. So sometimes I'll listen to them when I run because it's a lot easier to keep my pace. When I listen to IE and Friends, I'm like, because they're funny, right? They're making me laugh the whole time. But to be honest, it's just like a variety. I I used to listen to a lot more like serious podcasts, like maybe like motivational ones or
like
maybe
Jay Shetty. Did you listen to Jay Shetty?
No, I used to listen to like the daily, but daily is more like news. Like, and I would listen to that a lot, but now I'm just like, I don't want to listen to this stuff in the morning anymore. Like, there's so much ways to get your information throughout the day that I'm just like, I don't want to listen to it in the mornings anymore. Especially if it's like some bad news, I don't want to start with it right away. I forgot who was talking about this on the video or something about how like you look at your phone right away and it's that dopamine that's being given to you because of like a social media or like something you're watching or listening to. So now I'm just like, I don't want to do that anymore. I want to laugh, you know. I want to you know, start off my day with a good note. I
usually watch more podcasts. I used to do more like motivational, like self-help stuff. I'm really into Jay Shetty still, but stuff like that. But then we started podcasting, and I started switching to entertainment purposes. So I do watch like, you know, like I Am Friends and Viva con Huevos and stuff like that. But yeah, so now it's more entertainment that I watch for.
Yeah. Honestly, I didn't even listen to podcasts prior to ours.
Yeah, she did it. She's like, I want to start a podcast.
Never heard one in my life, but I want to start one. Like, okay. And it was more because I don't know. I had a bucket list of things I want to do in my life, and my slogan is I want to live my best Snoop Dogg life. And so it's kind of like I want to do something just for fucks, like just to say I fucking did it, like writing a book, right? Like I want to write a book, and it's like just to say like how cool would it be to be like, yeah, I fucking wrote a book, I'm published, or whatever. I have a podcast, you know, and like now obviously I don't throw it in people's faces, but it's kind of like it was just on my bucket list of things to do, like write a song, perform a song, whatever. And I've never even heard of a podcast. Like I heard of podcasts, but I've never like actually like listened. Like I wasn't an avid listener. And then after we were like, oh my God, let's just do it for fun, you know? It was supposed to be a fucking side project just to do for fun. And then Edith was like, Angel, you have to listen to podcasts. And then so she just started throwing out a bunch of them, especially because like kind of what we wanted to do was more focused like towards like first gen Latinos, you know? And because that's I feel like that's our niche, because like that's who we relate to the most, you know? That's who we relate to the most. And so we started listening. I think one of the first ones you showed me was La Plática. That's like, that one's a big one, you know? And then we saw I Am Friends, and then
their whole network.
And then there was like Chins and Giggles. I think that was another one. And I just started, I think after that, I was just like, oh, this is so cool. You know, like it's people just hanging out. Like some of them are like more interviewee than others, you know, but I think our vibe is more just hang out with friends and just like talk, and we can talk about anything, you know? And, so that's when I started listening to all of those. And I think I started focusing more on like Latino ones. I like true crime too. So I listen to like Crime Junkies. And,
Crime Junkies.
Have you heard the True Crime with Kendall Jenner? Or not Kendall Jenner, sorry.
We're gonna
fucking cut that.
He was like, who?
Kendall Ray. Ooh. Se me salió. So I would listen to that too because of my other coworker who put me on true crime too. But but I feel like now it's more like, I feel like it's like I love the tight-knit community that a lot of Latino podcasts have created. And I really love that, like that sense of community, like, hey, we're all in the same industry. And like, cause like, they've all been so helpful. I feel like especially like Sabo from I Am Friends, who's like given us a lot of tips and advice. And then we've also connected with Vive con Huevos. And then our friend Alan, Gil from the local podcast. He's also been so supportive. And I love this, like, it's like how do I say it? Because I feel like we grew up where a lot of people are like not like, it's kind of like there could only be one mentality. Do you know that mentality? Like, well, I'm gonna just focus on me and I'm not gonna try and help anybody else. And like now I feel like everybody's just helping each other, and I love that.
I think I see that a lot now. Like despite all of us trying to reach that same goal of like either trying to become successful or just like really trying to become famous, I think a lot of us have been helping. Like it's when like Saul, same thing, right? Like even when we were starting off, I think he was like one of the first people actually we met in person. That was a really nice interaction. Like we and then ever since then we've like talked a lot and worked together a lot, and so that's always been great. Even with everybody that we've interacted.
I feel like we can relate a little bit more with each other, just because with other podcasts, like back in the day when I would listen to it going to work, I don't know, it wasn't just they weren't Latinos. So when Latinos started like podcasting, I'm like, oh, like I grew up that way too. And then that's why I guess that kind of inspired us when we created the game too. Because it's like, how can we put this in a household where it just doesn't, you're just not using it, but you're also creating more memories, or even like laughing about stuff from back in the day.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, it was just something that's like, okay, how can we bring something from our childhood that now people can use in their household, or even show their little brothers and sisters, or like even start talking to their grandparents again, because a lot of people, our grandparents, sometimes we're speaking, and I'm talking to my brothers, we're all speaking in English. And my grandma's like there just listening, but she knows, like she'll laugh she'll laugh, but she'll laugh when we laugh. She obviously can't jump in because she doesn't speak English. And I have to like click. I'm like, oh, we need to like speak Spanish. Hello, like you know, talk to my grandma. So I don't know, connecting with her that way now with Sabo, because she packs for us.
Shout out to your grandma.
She's always on it.
I was wondering, I was like, are they just doing that for like the video, or are they really got her?
Me too. I really thought you guys were working.
She's the type of grandma that doesn't sit down.
Yeah.
She has to go on her walk. She has to do something. She has to be cooking. But a lot of us are more like not there anymore, or like, you know, my brothers leave in here and there, so she doesn't have anyone to cook for as much anymore. But Carl's always, just cook for me, I'll eat it. But
I'll come by, I'll come pick up.
No, so she's like, póngame a hacer algo. She's like, les empaco lo que quieran, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, she's helped us out a lot. It was funny because we dropped off the dogs yesterday at the house. Then she's asking me like, do we have to pack tomorrow? And I was like, nah, we only have a couple orders. It'll be fine. And she's like, yeah, but the next day is gonna be more. Then the next day is gonna be more. And then you're gonna tell us to pack. And then I was like, oh yeah, fine, go pack. You know, because she wants to, right? Like she's like subtly trying to tell us like, oh yeah, I'll pack these for tomorrow. But yeah, to be honest with you, like there's been days where like it's just her wanting to pack and just wanting to do something with her hands. And I think it becomes that when you get older, you want something to do, because like a lot of people say when you do nothing, like tu mente se va, ¿verdad? Like it just like disappears, or like because she still like sells like Avon to some of her friends, you know.
Oh my gosh, really?
And she does the math, right?
So
and because she wants to keep it, or like that crossword puzzle, or the what do you call those things to find the words?
The word search.
The word search. Yeah, she has one on her chair, and it says word search for adults, and it's like big letters and stuff, and it's like because she wants to keep active.
Yeah. And they say that puzzles are good for people like who are like elderly, because it keeps your brain, like you're exercising your brain or whatever.
And she's sharp. She knows when like something's afoot.
So I guess like that way Carl started to talk to her a lot more. She's like teaching him. Obviously he has to speak to her in Spanish. So he's really improved there. I don't know, because sometimes I'm like, Carl, you gotta speak more Spanish. And then with my family, I guess that kind of helped him out a little bit more.
And so the game to you guys, like that just came naturally. Like you guys were like, oh, how cool would it be like for a game, or like how did you guys come up?
I think that was more your idea.
Yeah, we had been talking about it for a minute, about just like doing a game, because I would always be, I'm no Sabo kid, I'm gonna say it right now. And I would always ask Jess, like, you know, how do you say this, how do you say that, even simple words. And so she was always like, we should make a game, you know, like why haven't we made a game, and like all this stuff. And it didn't really hit until one day we were coming back with our friends and we saw like a blimp. And we were like, ¿cómo se dice a blimp in Spanish? And none of us knew, because it's in some places you don't even have a blimp.
Yeah,
and so, like,
I can't remember the last time I saw one.
The reason I found out how to say blimp is because of your
So like, so that happened, and then we were like, all right, then, you know, that's it. Let's just do it. Let's just like you, and that's why I love when you said that, right? Like, just do it. Just say it. Just do it, so that you can say that you did it. Yeah. You know, and then luckily our graphic designer, who's also like our creator of design, he's just his brother. And he
shout out to him, because we got your guys' holiday card.
Right, that's all him.
And then like, oh my god, that is so cute.
Yeah, we're like, we gotta put it up.
We gotta talk to whoever they talking to, because
it's so
and that's
cute.
All big. And he's always doing that random stuff. Like he'll be like, look what I made for you, Sabo. And then so he was like he's a freelance graphic designer. And I was like, hey Vic, we want to hire you because we have this idea, we have the gameplay, but we're not graphic designers. Like, I'll draw something and it'll look like trash. And then I'll be like, we need you to help us because this is your business, right? He went to school for graphic design. And then it was so crazy. And it made me almost like want to tear up when he came back to us, because he gave us like a quote and then he presented to us. Literally like the Sabo presentation.
Oh my gosh, he did it like professional.
So
he pitched you. Yeah, he pitched us. Yeah.
I was like, wait, I wasn't ready for it. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
I had to sit
And
down
then
for
he's
this.
like-
I fucking love the commitment.
Yeah, he was full send. He had the color scheme, the font stuff. He looked up our printers. We had like a couple of printing people that we wanted to go with.
Yeah.
He looked up all that stuff, and he's like, "This is how the box should look. This is what I'm thinking it's gonna the size, how many cards you could fit in there," and that was it. And so we brought him the idea, and then we commissioned him to finalize that. And then, to be honest with you, like I think if I would have worked with like any other graphic designer, it probably wouldn't have worked out the same way. Like to have someone literally that was living with us, like there and like working it out. Yeah. So props out to Vic. He's always been there, and he's still a very big part of Yo Sabo. He's literally our director.
Yeah,
of
we
design.
might need his contact info.
And he's awesome. Like he's worked with other great companies, and then that's what came forward. Like he was so into it that it made us go like, okay, for sure, we got something in the bag. I was telling Jess, like, I'm gonna throw the money in to buy some decks because they're kind of expensive when you're just getting like a small amount. And I was like, if it doesn't sell, like I could sell. Like I'll go to the freaking swap meet and I'll sell.
Yes, there we go.
I don't care. You know, like my mom used to sell gold when she was just like working odd job, and she could sell, right? Like, and I was like, we could do this. And yeah, man, by the grace of God, you know,
I know.
like everything
It was
turned
scary
out okay.
to start something, especially when you put your savings to it.
Oh yeah.
At first I was kind of hesitant because I'm like, oh my god.
Yeah.
You're like our money.
Yeah. But even like just like how your brother came to you guys when he like pitched you guys or whatever. I love that he went all in because it's like, how do you expect other people to take you seriously if you don't take yourself seriously? So he was like, no, like they're my family, but I'm still gonna like come to like how did the rest of your guys' family like react when you guys were like, we're gonna start a business?
I think they were super supportive. I mean, I feel like maybe because we had our jobs still. What do you mean you're not gonna work? Like we didn't obviously quit or anything, but a lot of my brothers, they're super artsy. Like they're super into graphic design. They're all my parents. I guess seeing us coming with them, like, hey, we want to bring a game out. It wasn't out of the ordinary for them.
Oh, okay.
They were more so like, we gave them the idea, and then they're like, yo creo que sí, mucha gente lo necesita. They're like, my mom, she's a lot of kids right now. My grandma even, she's like, a lot of them don't speak Spanish anymore. And if they do, it's just like that one person from the family that's the oldest, and then everyone that trickles down to the youngest one. Yeah, like my little brother, he doesn't really speak Spanish that well anymore.
No, and it's the same with my little sister. I feel like the more they're so incorporate, like their whole life is like English, right? So she only speaks maybe Spanish to my parents, but even then my parents have kind of assimilated to speaking kind of English with her, or like como sea, ¿verdad? But so she's basically what you call us.
I feel like porque ellos entienden like what she's trying to say, they just let it slide
instead
of
Pero también hablan con ella, así como avientan sus palabras en inglés. And then before, when I was growing up, it was like aquí se habla nomás español en esta casa. So that's why like my Spanish is a little bit more, I guess you could say advanced. But then again, se me olvida todo. Like sometimes when I'm trying to speak professionally, especially, I'm like, ¿cómo se dice eso en español? I have no idea.
When I got into the industry that I work in, and I had like learning Spanish, like professional Spanish, I was like, oh my god, I gotta learn how to say what in Spanish, and because like I work in law, right? So it's like when you're talking to someone and they're asking you questions and you sound unsure, they're gonna fucking eat you out. They're gonna chew you out. So it's like learning how to speak professional Spanish and then having to be confident about it, you know? Because if not, they can smell if you're like even like a little insecure or whatever, you know what you're talking about. They would chew my ass out. So it was like learning how to speak like legal terms in Spanish. I was like, oh my god, I really had to get it together. I was like, but then nobody teach it, because like even when I'm at home, I had a mom who worked 2 jobs. I mention it every time, but it's like she wasn't really home to like correct me or like, so it was me and my sister, and we just spoke English, you know, because that's what we were most comfortable with. And it just like, even if we did speak Spanish, que nos iba a like nobody was gonna correct us. And so like we spoke what's called comfortable Spanish, right? Like you know, like
nosotros le llamamos español del rancho, because it's not
like
it's proper.
There's a lot of slang terms that even my own family uses, and so like when I went into my job and I had to learn proper fucking like professional Spanish, I was like, what the fuck? Dude, one time, let me just tell you guys, I fucking slipped up. I was talking to somebody on the phone and he was stressing me out, okay? He was stressing me out because he kept going in circles about no sé qué. He was, pero es que este, que aquello. And he was like going in circles and he was stressing me out. And then he was like, pero qué va a pasar si la seguranza no. First of all, I found out seguranza is not even a fucking word, okay?
Oh, it's not?
No, it's called seguro.
Oh, yeah.
What?
Seguro.
Yeah. Yeah, so like, you know, cuando dices, "Ay, tengo que pagar la seguranza,"
Yeah.
it's not seguranza, it's seguro.
Clip this.
Can't have that. Can't have the makers of your Sabo.
So first, but I feel like when Latinos come here, they assimilate, and
Yeah.
so there's like, for example, when I found out that parquear is not a fucking word,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
like it's estacionar, and I was like, but my mom says parquear all the time.
Yeah.
How was I supposed to know that's not a real word, you know?
Yeah.
But anyways, he was going off on this whole thing about how he's like, pero ¿y si la seguranza no contesta? And I think at this point I had it like up to here, right? And then I'm like, no, pues señora, huevo, nos tienen que contestar.
A huevo.
He literally started laughing at me on the phone. He's like, pues ¿con quién hablo? ¿Con un amigo o qué? And then I was like, oh no, perdón, señor, nos tienen, like, a fuerzas nos tienen que contestar. No.
Yeah.
And I was so embarrassed because I'm literally, a huevo nos tienen que contestar. And I was like, dude, I'm fucking ghetto. Like, I was so embarrassed.
Yeah, it happens. I mean, I still make so many mistakes. Like Jess, I always mess up saying "oi." I always say "aoi," and it's supposed to just be "oi." You
Yeah.
know?
Mm-hmm.
But I get so nervous. I went to a Telemundo event one time,
Mm-hmm.
and Telemundo is in Spanish. Right?
Yeah.
And all the executives that were there speak Spanish, and I remember I was trying to talk because I knew nobody there. I was trying to talk to somebody, and they spoke to me in Spanish, and then I was like, okay, ¿y usted qué hace? You know, but like that's not how you say like what do you do in the company, you know? And then he started talking to me, and then I was like, okay, I'll let him talk, you know. And then he's like, ¿y tú? And I was like, hice un juego. And I was like, I gotta go now. It's not
I'll try this another time.
Hold on, I think somebody's calling. Hold on.
I just answered the phone like this and walk away. Yeah. I mean, it happens, right? Like, even in those stressful situations. But, I mean, and that's why, like, we're very big advocates about, like, we don't know how people grew up. And so, like, it's very hard for us to judge one another.
Mm-hmm.
Like, my mom, like, needed me to talk to her in English because she was like, I need to be able to she was a housekeeper, so she
Tengo
was,
que aprender.
yeah, she was like, I gotta be able to talk to these people that I'm cleaning their houses for.
Mm-hmm.
They don't speak Spanish. And then I was like, and I need to learn English to find out what you're doing in school, because she was very big on like education. And so I was always like talking to her in Spanish, you know,
In
and
English?
or in English. And so there was no way for me to like really develop my Spanish as much, because she really, really wanted to learn English.
Yeah,
She was
yeah, yeah.
taking like English classes, going to after school or after night school, and trying to learn that.
heard
Yeah,
see that
and
too.
people don't understand that. They
Yeah.
think that like, oh, you don't know Spanish, you're fucking embarrassing.
Yeah.
Like, and they judge you.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
I had a friend, similar thing. Like, her mom is a second gen, so her mom knew English and English and Spanish, and she married. So my friend's dad was straight from Mexico, right? But he didn't speak like a lick of English. And he was like, I need you to talk to me in English all the time because lo quiero aprender, especially with what he was going to be doing for work, like similar to your
Yeah,
mom.
yeah.
And so my friend and her brother, they didn't grow up talking Spanish because the mom was always talking to her husband in English because like he wanted to learn English, and so he didn't really talk to his kids in Spanish either because he wanted to practice English.
Yeah.
And so she looks Latina, but she doesn't like.
Yeah.
She doesn't really speak Spanish like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, and I think right now we live in like in a world where it's like whenever you're considered like a no Sabo kid, it's so hard. Like people treat you like so harshly because just because you don't know like Spanish, but no saben how you like grew up and everything like that. We need to be a little bit kinder. A little bit nicer. But yeah, like for me, como les dije, I grew up with stay-at-home mom, and all she did is speak Spanish to us. So that's why my Spanish is a little bit, I guess you could say, a little bit better. but that's the only thing like for Angel, her mom wasn't there to correct her, so how was she supposed to know what's right and wrong?
And I think I fared pretty well. Like I think my Spanish is pretty good, but like I said, I got fucking hella like clowned on because I forgot how to say bat in Spanish, you know. But it's like, how often are you using the word bat in Spanish?
Yeah.
Like I mean, different because you guys go to the rancho and you guys have bats, but like we're
goddamn. So yeah,
but like,
I do use it.
We don't say bat often, so I was kind of like, and I feel like the only times that I heard my mom mention a bat was because of a movie or something, you know. But it was just like, and then I got chewed out because I forgot how to say bat, like. But I don't know.
I start calling it bate. Bate, like the baseball.
The baseball bat.
Dude, I get roasted in English and Spanish. People will come from my English. What's the word? Mischievous?
Oh yeah.
I say mischievous.
You say mischievous?
Yeah, I say mischievous.
Isn't it mischievous?
No.
Wait, what?
It's mischievous.
Shut the
You're fucking with us.
No, it's mischievous.
Yeah.
That's why people in
Swear
the
to
comments
God.
would put mischivos, like they put goat because like they're making fun of you for saying mischievous. Yeah.
Holy shit!
And then that one of our clips that went viral with that, I was just like
Everyone was
getting wrecked.
like, it's mischievous.
Well, like I'm like, wait, really? You know, like that's how you say
I thought
it?
it was mischievous.
Yeah,
Bro.
it's mischievous.
Dude, está como mi hermana. So my sister went like
Oh my
30
god.
Yeah, I'm putting her on blast.
Embarrassing.
She went like 30 years of her life calling it, she would order wings and call it cajun. She's like, can I get
Oh,
And then one day, I don't know what happened, but they were like, are you talking about Cajun? And she's like, dude, nobody ever corrected her. And she kept calling it cajun.
Yes.
it's because they remember the customer's always right. They're like, don't even bother with
Yeah,
it.
can't
I'm not
correct
bothering
her.
her. Like,
She
we're
needs to
talking
leave
about
a
been
good
saying
tip.
this for 30 years.
Dude, I didn't know it was mischievous.
Me
Mischievous?
neither.
Mischievous.
Yeah, you learn something
the
more,
more
you
you
know.
know.
Every day.
So,
That's
girl.
crazy. Was your family supportive too about the game?
I think
Creating the
so, but like it's funny because like my mom's like, I remember I was just joking around with her. This was just as a joke. I was like, I'm gonna quit my job. You know, I want to do Sabo full time. And she just like chewed me out. She was like, no, that's such a dumb idea. You know, like why are you gonna do that? And I was like, I was just joking. You know, I'm gonna keep my job. And then she was like, oh, okay, good. But like she's like supportive, but I don't think she like fully gets like the scale sometimes that me and Jess visualize, right? Because unless they're working in it, they might not be able to see like the potential something has. But my grandma loves it, and that's why I talk about my grandma a lot, like on everything.
I love
like,
your grandma too.
Yeah,
I don't
me
know her.
too.
oh wait, well that's just his grandma.
Oh, okay.
I also love my own. I can't forget about my grandma. Yeah, I love her because I remember when I talked to her about the game, she was just like, oh yeah, you know, like va pegar, you know. She really felt it because she knows my Spanish is bad. She'll always correct me, but she's very into like wanting to teach people about Mexican culture because she sells she hace la comida en la casa y la vende.
Oh, my suegra does that too.
Yeah, and she sells it, and like it's crazy because I learned a lot of like not really my sales skills, but more like my people skills from her because like she's just like really kind, and there'll be people, she'll tell me at least, right? She'll tell me she'll be saying that people go up to her and they're like, hey, no tengo dinero a hoy, you know, si me da una prueba, and then it's like, oh yeah, like I'll give it to you, and then like she'll tell me that she does that because she knows she'll get a customer later on because she knows it's good, right? The product is good, and so I was always like, dang, I gotta do that too. And so even when I was younger, I used to sell Cheetos at school, and then like I would, I had to because like
Bro, I relate to you so much. I used to sell CDs. When
she used to burn CDs.
When I was because my mom didn't give me an allowance growing up because it was kind of like
allowance, man?
Yeah, there was an allowance. Yeah, so I had to make my own money, and I remember if I would ask my dad for money, no me lo daba. But if I asked him to buy me something, si me lo compraba. So I told him to buy me a bunch of blank CDs. I went home and used LimeWire, and I just started burning or I would ask people like, hey, do you want me to make you a CD? And I would start selling them for $5.
Yeah.
And I would
That's smart.
and I started making money like that. But anyways, keep going.
That's so smart. Bro, I never thought about that.
She's like, my computer can't even get viruses.
She's like, my me. Yeah, and I used to, but I learned that from her, right? And I would literally have free hot Cheeto days where I just didn't feel like selling, and then like people came up to me like, oh bro, it's free today, bro. Like I used to be just handing it out because it didn't really come down to money. It was just like the fact that I liked selling, right, and interacting with people and getting to know people.
Y se te nota, you're really good.
Yeah,
Like
I hope so.
literally, like you guys showed up and we felt so comfortable. I could speak for myself, but I'm sure you feel the same way.
Actually, like, I was
Well, I feel I can speak for both of us. I can read her mind. We'll have silent conversations. But we felt so comfortable with you guys. Right, Edith?
Yes. You guys are like, right? No, definitely. You guys are. We could tell, like, you know how you meet somebody, their vibe right away, and I'm like, okay, yeah, we're gonna get along.
Thank you, I appreciate it. I mean, we felt that way too. I mean, I like, you know, it's funny, getting back to the hot Cheeto stuff, but like, you could always tell, for me at least, your comfort level when you eat around people.
Oh yeah.
Like for me, like when me and Jess were first getting together, I was really self-conscious about eating in front of Jess. I don't know why, but it's just like, I feel like you're at your most vulnerable when you eat, because you're over there opening your mouth, you know, not being able to talk, you know, like over there, the person's looking at you, you know, and then I'm just like, I remember with Jess, like I used to try not to eat in front of her that much.
I was like, why is he never eating?
Yeah.
You're like, dude,
You're over here hella eating, and he's
like the dorm cafeteria. There's no food on my plate. Imagine, like, but I used to be like really that. But like, we just had breakfast, and like, I mean, like, it was dope. You know, we were able to talk. All of us were able to eat. Like, it felt comfortable being able to, you know, just, and it just comes naturally.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I think for some people sometimes it doesn't, and then maybe for those people they'll just like be like, oh, I'll just get a drink. You know, because they don't feel like all that comfort level. I don't know. That's for me. I don't know if anybody else agrees with that.
damn, I didn't even think of that, because I literally we got there. I'm like, damn, I'm gonna get something good. Yo nomás entrando.
It was bomb. I went to town to those pancakes. I ate them up.
Wait, how were your flautas?
They were good.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've never
I've never had the flautas
there.
there, yeah,
We
no.
usually go for the pancakes. That's why.
Jess saw
Okay.
them on the picture. She's like, these are the ones.
It's because like I mean when it comes down to it, my grandma's food is always the best.
Oh yeah.
So, but they were good.
Yeah, they were good.
Yeah.
But like, and then like I would have free hot Cheeto days, right? And it was just like, so I try to do that same thing with Sabo, where it's like customer service. Customer service is always the most important thing. If somebody's having an issue, let's figure out how to do that. And so, yeah, so my grandma's always been like a really key supporter person, and like she really appreciates it, and like she's always the one that tells me she's really proud of me, even when my mom doesn't, because my mom's very like, I feel like my mom's very cold, or like she doesn't want to give that to me yet, or that, you know, I'm already old, but my grandma's the one that I receive it a lot from, and then I get a ton of it from Jess's family. Like they're always incredibly supportive and all of that stuff. But yeah, and it's like, you know, 50-50. Like I'll share stuff with my mom, and she'll be like, "Oh, that's nice." You know? Or like I told her that we went on Telemundo. She'll be like, "Oh, okay, send me the link," and I'm like, "Okay."
Oh really? She was like, God damn, that's
Yeah,
what
she did. Yeah, I remember I texted her. This is gonna make me tear up. Probably not, but
We got
I texted her. I was like, "Your
We got
son-"
tissues already.
I was like, your son came out on Telemundo, you know, and I didn't get anything like really back. And I was like, damn, that sucks.
Oh damn.
Yeah, the dynamic is like a little different with like my mom.
Yeah. But then everyone
Did she
else-
grow up like not hearing like was she not affirmated or validated?
I think so, because my mom, from what she tells me now and what she's told me, like what happened to her when she was a child, I think she had a really tough life, and she had me when she was 18, and so thinking at that level that you're not fully developed in knowing who you are and your like emotional state, and then having to take care of like a child with no dad, I think it was like very impactful. And then she had my sister, and so now she's 20 having me, a 2-year-old, and a newborn. And then, you know, she came from Mexico, and, you know, she went to work in costura, so in the warehouses, and she said it was like the toughest thing ever. And then my grandma, probably at that time, she had my aunt, my uncle, my other aunt. There was a lot of kids that she had to take care of. And so I bet she was also very tough. And so all of that probably went to my mom too, as being the oldest. And so she probably felt, you know, it just sometimes feel like the pressure, and like, you know, maybe she didn't. Yeah, actually, you're right. Speaking about her not receiving the affirmation, because I remember there's been times where she'll be like, I took care of your grandpa after he got surgery, and, you know, your mom never, or your grandma never thanked me for that. And I'll be like, okay,
Bro, you're
she's
about to
still
make
bringing
me
it
tear
down.
up, because I feel like that is exactly kind of how my mom's situation was too. My mom's the oldest daughter of like 9 kids or whatever, and she was like mom number 2, taking care of everybody, making sure everybody's and like even till this day, like she puts herself last all the time, making sure everybody's good before her. You know, I don't know so much about the validation. Like if my grandma was like, "Oh, thank you" or whatever. I don't know that, because my mom is like a vault. Sometimes she doesn't really talk. She doesn't open up much. But I like, even growing up, like it was so hard because it like being emotional didn't come easy for my mom. Like she didn't grow up telling me that she loved me.
Oh, yeah.
Like she didn't really be like, "Oh, I'm proud of I'm proud of you and stuff like that. Like, I knew she loved me and I knew she was proud of me, but like she wouldn't like openly like verbalize it, you know. And I think a lot had to do with her working all the time and being tired. And I think it wasn't until we were adults when we started saying I love you to each other.
I relate to that though. I don't know what it was growing up us either. None of us in the family hugged each other, said I love you.
Oh my god, when I hug my mom, I go like this. I go like this. And my mom's the same thing. She doesn't like hug me back. It's the same thing. You're right. Yeah.
And I don't know.
Not the virgen. I'm sorry.
Te va a castigar.
Okay.
Like, por andar hablando.
Sorry, our shelf got in the way of your hug.
That's how it is. That's how awkward it is.
That's how awkward it is.
Yeah. But yeah, growing up now, I feel like we try a little bit harder.
I'll text my mom I love her like now, but like
growing up, it was
it still feels kind of.
I didn't do that until after college though. Once I got older, and maybe like how I kind of felt like, damn, that must have been hard to like raise me because I was like probably like very like troublesome child and like, you know, not growing up with a dad. But
were you? I don't get the vibe that you were trouble.
I think I was. I had a girlfriend in high school, and like there.
Just like what? We don't like her.
Yeah, and my mom didn't like that because my mom was again very into like studies, and she was like, you gotta go to a good school, you gotta learn, blah blah blah. And then, but I felt like I did that, and I still did all of that stuff. But she was still very strict, like bedtime at 9, because I shared a room with my mom, my sister, and my 2 aunts. So it was like bedtime at 9. Man, when they meant it, because like there's one room.
Shut down. Lights are off.
Everybody gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, and so like she was strict on that. But yeah, same thing. Yeah, like hugging and like telling. I'm trying to connect more with my sister now, but it's still really awkward to tell her like, hey, I love you. You know, like I tell her like, hey, I love you, sister. Like that's what I say, and that's like seldom like. Yeah. I can't even like do it.
I'm not gonna lie. I feel awkward telling my sister I love her.
Yeah, me too.
I'm like,
really?
I think it's easier if I text it to her.
Yeah.
But I can't just be like, I love you.
You see, since my sister, because my sister went off to college in Texas, right? We were like that. My parents showed us a lot of emotion, but they never verbally said like, I love you or I'm proud of you and stuff like that. But when my sister went to college, like it was like, when we dropped her off, it was a switch for all of us because we're like, oh my God, we're going to be apart for the first time. And that since then we say, I love you to each other. We hug each other a lot more and everything like that. And especially since my grandma passed away on my dad's side, I've made it an effort to always show them how much I love them. Like my parents, even if it's at first it was awkward, especially with my dad going for the hug. But now it's like natural. Now, like out of nowhere, I'll just go and just hug him and I could feel it. Like he appreciates it. So
that's true.
Yeah. Oh gosh.
I think it's
emotion.
A little hard,
All right, guys. I think we're due for a break already. I gotta clean up my
clean my tears.
The mascara ran a little bit. All right, so we'll be right back, guys. And we're back, guys. Okay, I had to wipe off my tears. No, I did get a little emotional there. I feel like I relate to your story so much with like the whole like how our parents grew up and then like single mom and stuff. But I was getting a little emotional there.
Yeah. It is emotional. I have a question for you guys, actually. Like, I know you guys mentioned that you have, like, obviously your family work for you and everything like that. Have you guys had any difficult moments since you guys started this journey of Yo Sabo, like, with your family?
No, you know what?
Like, how do you guys separate business and person, like, because you guys are all family working together. Yeah. So how do you guys like have that business and like personal boundary?
I think that at least with Jess's family, they kind of know what they want to do. So like Jess's mom, when she was still living with us, she works in packaging, so she liked packaging. So she would like make all the boxes and like seal them up and all that stuff, and so she always felt like a part of it, and they just wanted to help us out. And then Jess's dad didn't really help, but he's always just been like very supportive of it, and there hasn't been any issues. Like he hasn't been like, why are you guys doing that in the garage or any of that stuff. And then just like Vic, I think Vic is probably like the one that I'm more concerned about because I want to make sure that he gets that separation. So there'll be times when I'll be like, hey Vic, if you can't do it, like don't pack today. You know, like I know that you're extremely busy because he still works on his own stuff, right, as a freelancer. And so I'll text him, be like, hey, if you need me, you know, let me know. If you need to take a break, let me know. And I try to do that as much as possible because I know it could get a lot, you know, like let's say one day we have like 100 orders. That's a lot of hours that you're packing, and you know, I try to be considerate of that. And we've had that conversation, like I'll have to like it's funny because I tried to do like and I don't feel comfortable saying it to him to his face, but I texted him this. I was like, hey, I just want you to know I really appreciate you. Like I really appreciate all you do. Let me text you real quick. But I texted him like this long paragraph, and he like hearted it. He was like, thanks. Because he's like that too. He's also like that too, right? Like he doesn't give up his emotion that much. But I try to tell him a lot, like, you know, if you need to take it, like take it, you know. Because like this past month where Jess's dad, he just went through emergency spine surgery. So Vic has been taking care of his dad, you know, and it's been a lot of work. Like Vic has to literally give him an IV antibiotic 3 times a day. Oh my god! And he's also taking him to the bathroom and helping him move and like helping him do all that stuff. And so they're getting to that point. It's like, hey Vic, I'm gonna try to come over and pack. I'm gonna buy the labels because even buying shipping labels takes a long time. And so that's kind of how we've started to separate. And then between me and Jess, I think that's like kind of the harder part because I feel like our minds are always working right now.
Yeah. Because with my grandma and Vic, they're not really vocal about stuff. That's why Carlos always has to kind of, you know, keep telling them like, hey, don't work too hard, or don't, if you really need something, just speak up about it. Because it's not like they internalize anything, but they're just really kept to themselves. Like, you know,
very reserved.
And they're not confrontational. Like there's nothing, I mean, we don't get in fights and stuff, but there's nothing for him. He's just super shy. And then so with them we haven't had problems. I think when it comes down, not problems, but more so where we kind of butt heads and stuff like that is more between us, because obviously
me and Jeff,
like we're like throwing out ideas and then it's just like, oh my god, no, that doesn't work, or you know, we should be doing this, we should be doing that. So I think the dynamic that we have to work through is more between us in terms of how we kind of work and keep ourselves separate when it comes to like our marriage and, you know, just the business side, because we are partners and partners in the business and then, you know, out. So
and then you guys work from home as well, because
we work from home.
They have 9 to 5 guys, so on top of that,
spend a lot of time together.
And I try not to annoy Jess. I try really hard not to annoy Jess, but like it's hard, you know, because I'll be bored. And then I'll go over to her room, like, what are you doing? You know, like just trying to like bother her. And then it's gotten like a bit tough sometimes where, and I talked to Jess about this, like one of our not really resolutions, but something we really want to work on this year is just certain days we just won't do anything Sabo related, because we need to be able to separate it, because like Jess is very much a creative person now, because she's able to think of video ideas and do these things, but I also don't want her to feel like she needs to, because it should be fun. And so I tell her like, hey, if you shouldn't edit that video if you don't need to, you know, like we don't need it right away. But then she's like,
but then my mind is like, but we need a song.
But I'll be like, you know, like it doesn't matter, you know, like, you know, we'll post later on, you know, and you know, it'll drive some sales and all that stuff. But I think we've been really, we have that conversation a lot, because we want to make sure that, like, I need to show her love too, you know. She's
like
my wife
still
now.
Need to nurture your business relationship.
Especially because it's so new. Actually, speaking about marriages, did you guys know you're supposed to give gifts? And there's like specific gifts for each year. Yeah,
there's
Wait,
like
what?
El Año del Plata. Like there's like each year I think it's like something different. Like 1 year you're supposed to do something with a pearl. 1 year is supposed to be like, every year is something different.
Yeah. So I was looking stuff up, and
but I didn't know. I don't know if it's that common anymore.
I don't know either, but I looked it up, and then it said like your first year you're supposed to give like paper.
Yeah, algo de papel.
Yeah, because it's supposed to signify how fragile the love is, but if you take care of it, right, it should last a long time.
Yeah.
Or like the modern gift is a clock. And I was like, I'm gonna get Jess a big ass clock.
I know. Imagine Jess opening it up.
Clock. I actually that clock up there was a gift.
Was that a gift?
Yeah, it was a gift it was a gift from one of my friends, because she knew that we had this mutual understanding of like, because we both kind of felt the same way. Like, we don't want to be like working for the rest of our lives, like a typical 9 to 5. Like, we didn't want to clock in, clock out for the rest of our lives. And I always told her, I'm like, girl, one day I was just like, one day I'm gonna be free from a job. Like, whether that meant like I start my own business or something, like create like revenue out, like my income outside of a 9 to 5 job. And so she actually gave me that clock, and she's like, your time is coming.
Damn.
And it was
it
was so special to me, because I was like, and so now I've had that clock for like 5 years now or something like that, because every time I looked at it, I'd be like, my time is coming. Like, my time is coming. One day I'm gonna be free, and I'll have total control of my time. And
damn, I love that.
Yeah.
So that clock is
good. I'm talking about them big ass clocks. But don't knock the clock. I ended up getting Jess a watch. We still have to go pick it up.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
but just like, because sometimes, I will admit, like, it's hard for me to show like a lot of affection. It all has to do with like, I think the way I was raised and stuff. But I try that, and so now I'm like, I really don't want the business aspect to affect us, because like I watch TV shows, like it's crazy how like, business like takes over and like takes over your life, and how you start making it seem like your partner is just always going to be there, which I want to feel like Jess wants to be with me for, to be her husband rather than just to be like your business partner. And I want her to feel that same way too. So we've had that conversation, and we're trying to work on it a lot.
Yeah, I think it's gotten easier though. In the beginning, when we're trying to create the concept and everything, and how we were gonna market and all this stuff, it was really, I don't know, I felt like we were butting heads a lot, because it was just the start. We had never done this before. It was something new that was now coming into our lives. And I think we had like a couple arguments here and there, but it was more so just like, because we both wanted it so bad that we're like, okay, like we need to make this work, but how do we separate us arguing where we don't bicker about everything? Because I felt like it was getting so stressful that we're just like, literally any little thing I'd be like, just stressed. And then I was like, no, it's getting too out of hand. Like, how do we manage our time with the game and like the business aspect, and especially because we're always with each other, and I'm like, okay, like either you like go hang out with your friends, or like we start like doing different things rather than being on a routine, and then just work on Sabo on certain schedules. But then our jobs do get in the way. But then that's for future stuff. But now that we kind of settled in, now we're going to reach 2 years in April. So I felt like it's gotten a lot better. Like, we don't argue about the game at all now, like the business aspect, because I feel we have everything down now, that we're like, okay, if this happens, we do this. Like, we have a game plan for each little scenario, so that way we're not freaking arguing over here.
Yeah, we're trying to be more... what's the word? Proactive instead of reactive. We've been trying to do it a lot. And so like one of the things we did was like properly assign duties, right? So like Vic knows that he does this, and then Jess knows she does that, and I know that what I do. And so we're hoping that like helps out. But communication. Communication is a lot.
Key.
Yeah.
Is there like certain like things you guys do, like maybe like a week, like in your like work week, to kind of like nurture your relationship and keep that separation?
Smash.
I'm like, okay, there we go.
For sure, nothing.
People find them. They're over here having a business meeting.
In the middle of it, ¿cómo se dice?
He's like, actually, I just had an idea.
He said, I'm gonna.
You come back in the business meeting and we're both naked? Okay. Back to work for real this time. No, I think me and Jess have been trying to go out more and not do content creation, because like before we would going out like, all right, what could we get for for the content, but now it's like, okay, let's go somewhere and not make it about the game, or like let's go for a walk. I'm really trying to get Jess to just like come on a walk with me, because I walk the dogs a lot. But it's hard for Jess, right? Because she's like really into work sometimes, and she's like, I can't leave the desk. I'm like, yeah, but if you were at your job to begin with, there'd be times where you take your break, you know, because everyone takes their break. And so I've really been trying to get her out, get that vitamin D. you know,
the
with
other
the dog.
vitamin
Yeah,
D.
the other vitamin D. Because it's important. You know, you got to step away from your computer. And we've been trying to do that. And then now, like running, like our physical activity, I think helps us out a lot because I think it helps release like our stress throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then me and her just like hang out because we'll be running. It'll be like 2 hours. Like me and Jez will be running for 2 hours.
Holy
that's how long
What?
it is. Yeah.
Really?
God damn.
Because yesterday we ran 8 miles and that took us about 2 hours. Or 2 hours? Like an hour and a half, right?
An hour and a
So
half.
what happens if you guys get tired and you still gotta go home?
Yeah.
Like, do you
if you
guys
go-
run at the same pace and like
Yeah,
you guys are
he's-
talking
yeah.
to?
Yeah,
Okay.
I force him to stay with me. I'm
Yeah.
like, especially if it's getting darker.
Oh my god! You know what the
hell
fuck
no.
happened yesterday?
What?
It just pisses me off. It's gonna be controversial. Hopefully, there's a clip. So I don't know if they have a lot of trails here, but a lot of trails are shared, right, between runners, walkers, and bikers, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bikers are the worst. Like they yell at you for no reason, or if you're too close to the line. And yesterday, Jess was in front of me, right? Because we'll change off. You know, sometimes she'll be a higher pace, I'll be a lower pace. And I heard this guy. He kept saying like on your left, but we were separated because there was 2 different lanes, one for him and one for us. And then he kept yelling that, and I was like, okay, like I didn't move because you know I'm good on my lane. His direction is there. It's a bike lane for him. Jess was closer to the white line that separates it, and he yelled. What did he yell?
He said, "Stay in your lane."
Yeah, he
But
literally
he-
went like stay in your lane. I'm
Yeah,
like,
he like got in my face.
yeah. Yeah.
I wanted to kick his wheel so bad, and then all of a sudden, I wasn't even in his way.
She wasn't even in the. She was literally on the white line, but her arm was out. But then in my head, I'm like, dude, if you were biking close to that white line, your handlebar would be in the thing. And what pissed me off more, and I yelled out, I was like, hey, and then he just like raised his hand like whatever, right? He kept riding whoop de whoop.
Fucking throw a rock at him and
I
shit.
know.
And then, but like what bothered me the most was there was a white guy. He was also the biker was a white guy. There was a white guy walking towards us, and he was on the line.
No le dijo nada.
Nada.
Oh,
And
hell
I
Oh,
was like,
no,
dude.
no, no.
And it's crazy because like I wonder if you could.
And he did it to me.
Yeah, and
Probably
he did
'cause
to
I was
Jess.
a
A
Yeah,
girl.
because you're a woman. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, woman. And it pissed me off. Like, and then like I didn't want to do anything because like we're in Newport, and if people know Newport, like I'm not gonna mess with people in Newport. I'm Mexican. You know, I don't live in Newport. This guy's a white guy. He probably lives in Newport. Probably call the cops on you, and they'll be there like nothing.
Yeah.
I didn't do anything, but I sped up. I was like, if I catch him like at a break, I'm gonna tell him like, why are you yelling at someone and just leaving? You know, like why don't
Yeah.
you like do something like, you know, stop the bike and like talk about it or something. They'll just yell just because you could escape so quickly, you know.
Exactly.
And that hasn't been the first time. Somebody else has yelled at us like way up the trail before, and it's the same thing. And I remember I yelled back at him and I was like, it's a shared trail. It literally says that on the thing.
Yeah.
And I'm not in the way of you, you know. Like,
And they don't have anyone coming towards them.
Yeah,
They can
that's what
easily
got me
just
the
go
most.
like,
Yeah.
there's like, it's empty.
it's like, do you not have wheels, dude? Like
You can
turn
just
your
like
little
go
steering-
around. They're not, I
Your
don't know if
handlebars.
they're blocking you.
Fuck.
Then
I
just,
feel like some people nomás para, like, I don't know, they're
Seriously.
just, like, they're already mad at the fucking world because they
Yeah.
hate their lives
Yeah.
and want to take it out on somebody.
Yeah. That threw me off, but I felt like we
I had
started running
already,
faster.
I already had forgotten about it. I
Yeah.
blacked out.
Nah, I was mad about it. I was like, the freak, like.
Oh, hell no.
I know.
Yeah.
I was
would've
so
been
mad in the
pissed.
moment though.
I'd be like, get your ass back here.
Yeah,
Throw some fucking balls and
seriously.
confront me.
Yeah, that's what I wanted. And again, I wasn't gonna do anything, but I wanted to tell them like, why are you yelling at people when they're there, you know, and you don't yell at other people.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's
And
what
it's a
happened to
shared
us.
trail.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's a shared trail. If it was like it said no people on here, only
Yeah.
bikes. Okay, fine.
Yeah.
All right, you got it, bro. Like,
Yeah.
all right, chill. Yeah, I'll leave. Okay, my bad. But this one it just wasn't even in their way.
He didn't even have people around him. He could have just avoided.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not, whatever.
But yeah,
miserable.
but we do that to really stress.
It gets more angry.
So when I yelled at him, I was like, yeah, so we'll do that, and it's fun because we get to challenge ourselves. Like there'll be days where me and Jess are working on a specific goal, whether it be like lowering our heart rate, going at a certain pace, reach a certain amount of mileage, and then we'll kick it after, right? Like we have this thing where if we do that trail and we do 10 miles, we'll go eat a breakfast burrito at this place that's really good. But that's like our date thing, right? We'll be there and we're not doing anything Sabo related. We're just sitting having
Okay.
coffee together. So that's one of the big things that we've been trying to do is just spend more time outside of the house together.
Like quality time.
Quality time.
Like actually make it away from your phone, you know, just have a conversation. Even though we've been together for 12 years.
Yeah.
12, 13.
I'm
But
still learning
I'm
new
like,
stuff
no,
about
we
Jess.
have to, I don't know. It's just like with Carlos, I can speak about new things or, you know, just talk about random shit, and he'll still be like, you know, into the conversation. It's not like we're just there being like, so what do we talk about?
Yeah.
You know?
Because I forget everything. So like it's new to me.
Oh, okay. It's new to you again.
What's that movie? 50 First Dates?
Yes.
That's a good movie.
So how did you guys, have you guys been always into running? Or how did you guys get into running?
To be honest, just got into running.
Yeah, I think I turned 30 and I was like, well, I guess I need to pick up a new hobby.
It's time. My body's calling for it.
I know. No, I mean, I just wanted something to challenge myself because I would go to the gym here and there, but I never stuck to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would be paying the gym, but I would never go. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, wasting money.
Right
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. And I'm like, I just hate running inside. And then I would be those people that'd be like, who even enjoys running outside?
You know what's funny though? Jess says that about the gym money. Well, bro, our shoes be costing good amount of money, man. Like the Hoka shoes.
Yeah, they're expensive.
I feel like I put them to use now.
That's true.
Oh, okay.
She does put it to. There you go. Yeah. But I want those visors. Have you seen those sun visors?
Yes, I've seen them.
Oh, my, they look so dope. I want one.
Yeah. And then I don't know. I always saw people. They're like, oh my god, I enjoy running outside. And then I was gonna say something else, but no. And then I was just. No. Yeah.
You already started.
Yeah. Carlos was like, that's such a white people thing to do. And I'm like, but it looks cool. And like, I don't know. So I was just like, I'll just try it out. And then after a little while, I don't know, it got easier and easier. And then my friend, she's a runner too. So she kind of kept motivating me and then buying new clothes to go run. I'm like, ooh, new outfit run. Like, I don't know. Buying new outfits kind of makes me want to go outside. Yeah. And I'm like, I can spend money on shoes, and like every new little thing that I buy, it motivates me to go outside and use it. So I feel like that's kind of, and we're really competitive. So I feel like with her, like I was for some reason with just running, everyone got super competitive. I brought in Carlos. Her boyfriend was doing it with us. My brother started running. Then even Steph and Caesar started running with us too. So I feel like people that are competitive, we see each other run and we're like, no, now I have to go outside. Yeah. So I feel like when you do it with people that are really super into it and are really competitive with each other, we're gonna freaking be like, hey, I got my miles in. What about you? Yeah, like all that stuff.
Because it really is a lot of mental stuff. Like I feel, because to be honest, like sometimes I feel like running is like the oldest thing people could have done back then, right? So like you gotta be able to do it, right? Like if there's something happening, I think you'll be able to run a long time. A lot of it's like mental, like. People that run the marathon, there's this thing called the wall that you hit like at mile 20, right? 19, where your body's just like, I'm done, dude. Like, and a lot of people get that, like the wall. That's it's the term for it. Yeah. And it's crazy because I didn't feel it, but if you look at my time during the marathon, it slowed down a lot. I didn't think of it like 20-ish. Yeah, because you
20
still got,
miles.
Yeah, because you still have another 6 miles to go.
Yeah, 26 miles marathon.
Yeah.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, and I didn't like feel it in my head. I didn't go like, oh man, I'm so tired. But I saw it in my time when it slowly increased, right? Yeah, so running.
Yeah, I think that's how we ended up getting into it though, because we created a small group.
Yeah.
And then because everyone was just like, oh, I'm gonna do this many miles today, blah blah, and then me and Carla like, damn, we gotta go run now.
Oh yeah, like
oh, you see your friends log in like 8 miles, like fuck.
You were getting comfortable in bed already.
How do you guys see like how many or?
Oh, we have the Strava app.
It's a runner's app.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So we have a little Sabo group on there. So I created a little mini one, and we have people that we see each other when they run. Yeah. We see how many miles they do. Or even when I had my Apple Watch too, it's like I would see them. I'm like, damn, they worked out today.
Yeah.
I have to go work out.
Yeah. But it's nice not having to go to the gym, and then just getting up and running. And I think we're lucky because we have a couple of trails like really close to us. But yeah, we got into it. You know what's crazy? Jess, the day we got married, right, was the day she signed up for the LA Marathon.
He was napping.
I was napping.
You know how we got eloped, right? So we got married in the morning. We went to lunch, and then we had a little mini break before we went to dinner that night. Break. And then Carlos was asleep.
Break.
And then Carlos went to sleep after, and then I was just there, and I'm like, man. And then my friend texted me because none of them knew that we had gotten married. So she's over here texting me. She's like, I just signed up for the LA Marathon. Do it with me. And I'm just that person that they influence me so fast. I get influenced by anything.
Oh, me too.
On TikTok, I'm like, I'm buying.
Yep, I have an issue.
So yeah, she told me, and then all of a sudden I'm like, all right, I'm gonna sign up too. And then Carlos wakes up, and I'm like, hey, I just signed up for the LA Marathon.
And I was like, oh, man, I guess I got to sign up too. But it took me a while, to sign up. Yeah.
We convinced him after, I think it took 2 weeks still to
Yeah.
convince you. But yeah, after that, it was January 2nd, and then we ended up running it in March 19th, I think. So I had like a little less than 3 months to train for it.
That's a little bit of time.
Yeah.
And you guys finished the whole marathon?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Just did it like in a little bit under 5 hours, and I did it a little bit over 5 hours.
Damn. Oh, you
That's
were
a lot of
into
running.
right?
Yeah. So
yeah.
my goal this year is to do a half marathon.
Okay.
I
Yeah,
don't know if we'll one, but
I think
maybe,
it's
or a
I think
10K,
it's doable.
something like that.
10K you could do.
Yeah.
I think you could do it.
10K.
Like it doesn't. I know it takes training, but I think you could like train your body and see what your body actually likes and like your movements and your breathing. Because once you have your heart rate and your shoes down, you're good. Like I think you're golden because that's when you really know your body. Like Jess always makes like she gets mad because I think I control my heart rate really well, and so she'll see it and then like, how's your heart rate so low? You know, because my heart rate stays at like 150s, 140s when I'm running, and so I'm breezing. Like I don't feel like like my body's like crazy. And then she'll look at hers and
Mine's in like heart attack zone.
Yeah. Dude, I fucking work out and I'm at like 170. I'm like, god damn. No.
yeah, Jessica got up to like 190, right?
Yeah. So if you really want to run, I'll get your number. I'll text you. I'll be like, hey girl, like, are you running today?
Oh
And
no.
then I'll get you
Accountability.
Actually, no. I feel like you
Yeah.
thrive when you have accountability.
No, I do. I actually do. I need somebody to kind of
Yeah.
like I know that I'm
when we were
doing
doing
it.
the gym together, I feel like that's when we were the most like accountable. And then I feel like with the podcast too.
We hold each other accountable.
Yeah. Edith was like, girl, I would have quit a long time ago if it weren't for you.
Yeah, because there's so many issues that come up, and sometimes you're so frustrated, and you're like, I just want to
Yeah.
just chill. Have you guys had any issues with Sabo, like being like you were this close to like quitting, like this close to being like fuck this shit?
I don't think about quitting, but I definitely think there's been like very stressful moments because I'm like a really big believer in like I don't get stressed, right? Like, and I really try to get Jess to be that way.
Stress.
Yeah, but I try really hard not to stress. But there'll be times like there will be stuff happening with yourself. I'm like, damn, why is this happening right now? Like there'll be times where we run out of inventory all of a sudden because like we have a big surge right in sales, and then it's like shit. Like the next shipment is not coming for 3 weeks. Like we're screwed because sometimes people don't want to order when it's pre-order, because it's hard to trust your money with somebody that you don't know, and it's just sitting there. And then I'll be stressed about it a little bit because I'm like, all right, I gotta be tracking the shipment, I gotta be talking to the manufacturers, like, hey yo, can you send it faster, like what's going on? Or there's delays with like FedEx, and I'm like, damn it, there's these things that I have no control over. And so that's why I try to remind myself, like, I can't do anything about it.
It's out of your hands.
Yeah, it's out of my hands. So I really shouldn't stress about things. If I stress about things I can fix, then I should do them, and then I won't be stressed, right? But those times are the ones that I'm like, damn it, like, well, why is this gotta happen right now, Or like it sucked because me and Jess were traveling a lot when we first started Sabo, and it just so happened that every time we were traveling was when the order came in.
Oh.
And then Vic would always have to be the one taking it in, and there'd be like 50 boxes coming in, and then it'd be like, damn, sorry, Vic. Like I feel like you've been through everything.
He's always there with the FedEx guy. Or who
Yeah, the
delivers.
FedEx guy. Yeah, and then it's like, my bad, Vic, but we're out of the country right now. Can you get it?
Living our best life. You take care of it.
It's true. Sometimes I feel that way, but like we're trying to get Vic out more, hopefully this year, because if we have the means, we're gonna try to get him out, or at least take him to more places.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, because we've been trying to do that more actively, but we also ask him, and sometimes he doesn't want to come with us. So he's like, nah, I'm
He's
good.
turning down a trip.
I know.
Yeah. Sometimes he'll be like, nah, I'm good, or we'll ask him if he wants to go out somewhere. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I think he's like a really big homebody. I think he feels comfortable at home, but yeah, there's those stressful moments, or like there'll be times where like we have business cards that go in the game. We run out of those, and Staples is not open.
And I'm over here like, why didn't you plan?
Yeah, and then Jess will tell me, I'm like, I swear to God, I did. I just didn't expect this big surge, but that's all like new stuff to me, right? Like doing inventory and like there's a whole system to do it, and we don't have those sophisticated systems. Like our garage is where we keep all our inventory, and we don't have like proper like shelving, and so like it's just like me counting the boxes, like okay, and then since I don't go there every day because Vic packs, like sometimes I just lose track of the stuff that we have. But luckily, you know, I mean, it's funny because I've told Jess this like twice. I'm like, luckily, we're in a good place right now. And next time it's like, dude, we're out of something again. But yeah, those are the times I'm probably like that. But to be honest with you, like, I am incredibly grateful for this journey that it's taken us on because I've always wanted to do something business related, but something also connecting back to my culture. And I think this was like, I don't know, it's just crazy to me. Like, I have something that happened to me yesterday because we're the only people that look at the orders. Like, nobody else is packaging for us, right? I look at every order that comes in because I'm very happy when the order comes in. All of a sudden, I'm like, it makes my day. And yesterday, an order came in, and I was like, that address looks so familiar because I grew up in LA. And I was like, that address looks so familiar. And I looked it up, and then it's a candy store. And I don't know if you've ever been in Grand Central Market. It's in downtown LA, but it's where my mom used to take me to go buy verdura. Because it was very cheap. Because you used to be able to get like a lot of like wholesale pricing. But there used to be this candy stand, literally just like candy stand. I used to go to a lot. I was like a really chubby kid. But I would buy up a lot. And they ordered one yesterday. And I was just like, dude, like I'll tell Jess, and I get like emotional, but I try not to get emotional in front of her. But I'll be like, dude, that's crazy. It's like a full circle moment where I used to go there as a kid, and now they're literally buying a product from me.
Yeah.
Like to me, that was like, holy shit. I kept telling her like the whole way home. I was just telling her like, Jess is crazy. It's crazy, man.
I don't take it in the I feel like sometimes, I don't know, it doesn't hit me. Like, I still feel like stuff hasn't hit me.
Yeah.
And I feel so small still. Like, I don't know. It's just like Carlos is always telling me, like, you don't know what we're, like, how much impact we're creating. I'm like, I don't know, because it just doesn't feel real sometimes.
Do you guys get like that imposter syndrome?
Yeah. Yeah, because people will ask me, and I get shy. Like, they're like, did you make this game? I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't say anything else.
A part of it's gonna be like, no, I don't know.
Maybe.
I think so. I think that's good.
I think so.
But like,
sure.
because at the same time, I don't want to seem like I'm bragging about it, because I really don't want to, because there's other people that, you know, like, do stuff and sometimes it doesn't work out. But to me, it's like, dang, like, I really want to be humble about it because I don't want that to go away. And so I always try to tell Jess, like, dude, we gotta live it up right now, and we gotta enjoy it. Like, if this is the last time this is gonna happen to us, because this is just like an amazing journey that we're living through right now. Like, there's that thing in The Office, right, where it was the last episode where he says that you wish you knew that you were living in the good times, you know, because you could actually enjoy the good times. That's why I tell Jess, so whenever we're doing something, I'm like always like hyped up about it. And so yesterday I was just like, the whole time I was like, damn, that's so crazy. I texted my mom, I texted my uncle, I texted my aunt, and I was like, you guys remember the candy store? And then they were like, yeah. And I was like, dude, they bought a fucking game. Like, isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
Wow. That gets me a lot.
I was telling Angel, and I told her, because we do also suffer a lot from imposter syndrome. Like, oh, we're really doing this, whatever. And I came across TikTok, because me scrolling, whatever. And I came across this TikTok that said a lot of people suffer from imposter syndrome because they don't celebrate their wins when they win them. Like, you got to celebrate at least a little something to kind of like let it sink in, because or else if you just keep on going, that's when imposter syndrome hits, because you don't believe it.
Yeah.
Like, whenever you have even like just a small one, like, we're not internalizing it and acknowledging, like, dude, like, this doesn't fucking happen to everybody, you know, like, and actually like sit down and like, you don't have to throw a big ass party because of a small win, but just actually like sit down and like, this is real, like, this is actually happening. That way, when you get to like a higher place, you don't feel like, oh shit, I didn't do anything to earn this, you know, you don't feel that like, what the fuck, this isn't me, this isn't my real life. But it's because if you just like celebrated all of them, you've already internalized all those little wins, and you're like, of course I'm here, because I fucking worked my ass for it.
I think that's really good, because I think we've talked about that. We talk about it more through text, because I'll text. We have a Sabo HQ, and it's just me, Jess, and Vic. But like I'll text him like, damn guys, like congratulations, like we just met the milestone that we set for ourselves, or like congratulations, like we're ending the year like this, or even like
I appreciate that though, because I'm like,
yeah, because Jess doesn't see that, because like Jess's position, right, she's a COO, but she doesn't do all the operations. So she does all the social media management, so she doesn't see all the data or the analytics in regards to the business, but I do. And so I'm always trying to tell them, to let them know like, yo, we just hit this milestone, we're gonna meet this milestone, because it's crazy sometimes to see and visualize what's happening. And so yeah, like I'll tell Jess, and I'm like, damn man, this is crazy, you know, like I can't believe like a small business like this is able to keep running. And I think you're right. I think it's important to like celebrate those wins, because we tried to, and we did that during our first year anniversary thing that we had. We threw it at like a karaoke bar, and at that time I was like, damn, this is fun, you know, like we're able to talk to everybody. And we're trying to go even bigger for our second year anniversary, so we'll send you an invite.
Thanks.
Yeah, hopefully it'll be like in May, and hopefully we're able to work with like a restaurant to figure it out. But I think that one is going to be really important, because I feel like first year was us like trial and error. All right, let's figure out what's working for us, what isn't. Second year was like refinement. All right, we figured out what's working, what's not. Let's refine the process. And now third year is like, let's ride it. Let's full send on everything we possibly have and just go for it. And that's the mentality that me and Jess have been having now. It's like, it's now or never. You know, I look at other companies like Millennial Loteria. Like I've spoken to him, and he's been doing it for a long time, and it takes a long time to build something like that. And so that's why I'm like, we got to keep going. And so now that we've refined it, like I feel so confident in it, and like it's just good to have that support system, and like you guys like supporting us and like being in contact with us, and like all these creators that we've talked to, because everyone's just so into it. And like the words that we've gotten from them is like, damn, okay, so we do have something.
we're doing something right.
Yeah, we're doing something right, you know. And so that's what like you know how you were talking about like third generation, second generation Mexicans, and like we just got left like a couple of reviews on our product page talking about that specifically, because they're like, I've been kind of like out of tune with that, and it was helpful talking to my parents about, you know, Spanish again and getting them to play. And so we're like, all right, cool, we're doing it, you know. And it's kind of crazy to see that play out in the home that you're not in, right?
Yeah.
Somebody else is bringing a product that you made in there.
Yeah, creating an impact in other
homes. That's how we feel. Like honestly, sometimes like we get these messages from some like of our friends. And by friends, I mean like the people who are all tuning into us and stuff, because we call all of them our friends. And sometimes I really have to sit there and I like see like they'll write us like paragraphs or like a long paragraph, and like they're like, oh my god, like I just listened to this episode and I just want to, like, they'll thank us for what we had to say. And sometimes I'm like, bro, like I'm just sitting down talking to my friend, you know, and it's just like
dumb shit.
Yeah, to us it's like sometimes we're just saying dumb shit and we're just fucking like haciendo like diciendo mamada y media. And but like sometimes like, you know, like stuff like real shit comes up, you know, we'll talk, but these are real conversations. And then I'm thinking like, damn, like someone's taking time out of their day to listen to us talk. And I'm like, because time is very fucking valuable, you know, like time is more important than money, you know. And because you can always make more money, but you can never make more time. And it's like someone's literally listening to an hour and a half of us talking, and I'm like, and I really have to internalize that like we are, and like they'll thank us for like the conversation that we had, or for, they're like, oh, thank you for saying this way, because I never saw it that way. Like sometimes, because like obviously like we have our own point of views, everybody has their own point of view, but like sometimes like you've heard, you think something a certain way, and then when you hear someone say it differently, you're like, oh shit, I never heard it that way. And so like those people, when they reach out, they're like, I never thought of it that way, or I never understood it that way. And they like tell us like, oh, thank you for telling your story. And I'm just like, dude, all I talked about was when I got ran over. And, or like, you know, like all I did was like, one of our like videos that did one of our episodes that did very well was when I talked about my father trauma and like the shit that I went through with my dad. And like that one was like, I had so many people reach out to me talking about how impactful it was. And I'm like, dude, I don't even remember what I said because I was crying and I had snot coming out but like people would literally thank me for that. And I'm just like it just crazy, because I still sometimes I'm like, dude, like this is just something that I went through, but to other people it's like I helped them in some way, you know. And it's like crazy, because I'm like, I did that, you know, and I have to like really sit there and be like, what the fuck? And I'm like, Edith, people really listen to us.
Yeah.
And they listen to what we have to say.
They always come, like, honestly, the messages always, it's weird. They always come when we're really struggling. Like when we're like, fuck this shit. I fucking hate everybody. These cameras suck. And it's shit like that. Like some editing, and then messages just come saying like, oh, like, thank you so much. And I'm like, what the?
Yeah.
It's like how the world works.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
The timing is crazy because like we've literally been on the brink of tears. I've never thought about, personally, I'm speaking for myself, I've never thought about quitting, but like times have gotten so tough with like certain things that have happened, or even in like our personal life, and just having to pull through, you know, and then it like those messages come in, and then you're like, oh shit, like it's for something, you know. I'll just share like something with me. Like last year, actually around this time, like we started our podcast in January 2nd, and we had already done a few episodes, and then mid January I lost my grandma, and like it was just kind of like out of nowhere. And we had to like rush to Mexico, and it was just kind of like, and like, tell me why I'm on the bus fucking trying to share through WhatsApp like one of ours, because we were still filming on my phone during this time, and it just like happened out of nowhere. And my mom just called me. I'm like literally I'm on my way like out of my house to go to work, and my mom calls me and she's like she passed. And I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like, stop. And I'm like, this isn't happening. Like I don't know, like my grandma always was a strong woman, and I was like, I can't believe, like I couldn't believe it, but my mom's like, she passed. And so literally that day I had to change, and because in Mexico, like, te entierran rápido, like everything is quick. So I literally had to call into work. I'm like, I have to go. And I hadn't sent Edith the fucking rest of the episode. It was all on my phone, and we were supposed to go live. And then I was like, and tell me why, like, I'm like going through this, but I'm still like, okay, let me just send Edith the episode. And I'm over here texting it through WhatsApp. I think I sent it to you on WhatsApp. And then I still got back from Mexico, and the next day we were filming, and Edith was like, girl, you sure you want to do this?
I kept on telling Angel, and that's the thing about it, I'm like, girl, if you need to take your time, like take your time, like don't feel pressured. But it was completely her choice, and I'm like, okay, well, we're rolling with it.
I was like, no, we're fucking doing it. I was like, because at the end of the day, like I feel like I already and this can be another conversation, but like I've already kind of like had been processing because my grandma had Alzheimer's, and so like, you know how are you guys familiar with how so like my grandma had already kind of like her mind had already been deteriorating, so before passing, like I kind of felt like I was mourning her death before she was even dead. And so when she actually passed, like I felt like I had already processed a lot of it, but it was just like the realization of letting it sink in that she's actually no longer here on this earth. But a part of me had already been mourning her death, and then when it actually happened, I wanted to keep going. I just didn't want to like stop, because I needed to keep my mind off of it, because I feel like I don't know, me personally, I feel like if I just let it like if I just like sit on it too much, I don't know. I feel like I don't know. I just kind of feel like I need to keep active, and not because I'm trying to distract myself from it, but it's like I try to work through it. Like life still keeps going, you know. And I'm not like, I mean, everybody mourns differently, and I think for me, not just mourning somebody, but also like when shit is going on in my life, I like to think of it as like life doesn't stop, so I'm gonna work through my feelings as I'm still going on. But that time, like, and it just happened when our podcast had just launched, and it was really hard, but I honestly don't regret filming or anything, because I think like I think a lot of powerful episodes came out shortly after that. And I don't regret it. I feel like we're here now, and a lot of people can connect to my story, you know. Sorry, I just went on a whole tangent.
No, that's good.
This is actually the first time that I talk about my grandma passing.
It's really, I get inspired with people who are able to, you know, just share, because a lot of people just hide everything in the background and just pretend that, oh my God, my life is going this way, it's so great, blah blah. But actually being able to hear, and I think I can relate to those listeners too, because whoever I listen to on their podcast, when they are at their most vulnerable, like I feel like there's something that's so real there that they keep coming back, and then they're able to, like, even for me, like I feel like it's hard to talk about certain things too, but when you're able to listen to someone who's super vulnerable in front of a lot of people, or like that they just put it out there into the world, I just feel that they're just releasing that energy, and I feel it through the screen. And even though I'm not in the room with you, like every episode that I listen about with you guys, like when you guys get to that point, I just feel like I'm there, and it's just like that realness that it projects through the screen. And then I feel like that it just builds on that connection, because I might not be able to, talk to my friends here and there. Like we don't, like I feel like there's certain people that you get super vulnerable with. But when I have you guys like there on my work desktop, and you guys are able to, share your stories, I feel like I have someone there. Like there's someone that, is going through it. And if I don't hear from other friends, at least I hear your guys's, what you guys are going through in life. I'm like, okay, like I know I'm not the only one going through something. And I learned from your guys's, what you guys go through. So then in case like, maybe I can take something from it and then put it into my life and how I like react to certain things. So I feel like your guys' episodes are really powerful in like that sense. And I love listening to like other people where, they just share the same thing, if like they let their vulnerability come out, then it's just like you just show who you really are. It's like that's how you're going to connect with people.
And that was our goal from the very beginning, was to always like keep it real and authentic. And that was my personal goal, because when we both started, we're like, Edith, why are you doing it? Why am I doing it? And for me, it was like, I grew up, like, how we were talking about, like, not really sharing our emotions like that. Like, for me, growing up, even at one point, my husband thought I didn't like him. He's like, do you even love me? Because I no soy cariñosa. Like, I'm not very affectionate. Like, it would, honestly, till this day, like, I'm still getting comfortable with hugging people. And I feel like now it's gotten more comfortable with, obviously, my husband or my mom, like that. But, like, even with just people, like, when I saw you guys, like, at first, I, like, it was so quick, but I second thought, I'm like, should I even hug them? But then I'm like, no. Angel, do it.
You're like that.
Pull the Carlos. So I grew up like not being very affectionate, like not really knowing how to share my emotions, because I never saw that with my parent. Like I was never taught how to share my emotions properly, you know, like, and so one of my goals was learning to wear my heart on my sleeve. And that's why, like, I feel like I've been able to open up, like, on the podcast with, like, some of the shit that I've been through is because I'm, like, I've kept this in for so long. Like, I don't just openly go around telling people this stuff, you know? And, like, I've wanted to learn to, like, share my story and be, and allow myself to be vulnerable, because I feel like when you allow yourself to be vulnerable, like, you also build a sense of confidence, because it's like, this is my most vulnerable and I'm allowing you to hear it. And it's like, and I'm standing true to, like, I'm not, like, when you're vulnerable, a lot of people don't like being vulnerable because they're scared of being judged or they're scared of, like, what are they going to think or what are they going to say or whatever, right? And, like, or allowing someone to speak on it, and, like, what if it's not how you want them to react, right? But when you're vulnerable, you're opening yourself up to being judged. You're opening yourself up to someone saying something and it might not be what you like. And when you, like, allow yourself to continually be vulnerable, you build a sense of confidence, because you're like, I'm standing firm to who I am, and I know what I went through. I know what I feel and what I believe in and everything, and what you say is not gonna affect me. And so that was my goal with the podcast, was like, I want to learn how to wear my heart on my sleeve. And so, like, sharing all of these things on the podcast, like, at first I was kind of nervous because I was like, damn, like, I was like, I don't want to be that crybaby ass bitch, you know. But I don't know, I think honestly I feel like through the podcast I've grown a lot as a person.
Yeah, you have. You definitely have. She's definitely, like, if you guys, like she said, she doesn't really openly talk about stuff like that. And the fact that now she's a lot more comfortable to, like, say her story and everything like that. Like, a year ago, never would have guessed that, like, from Angel, like, before starting it. Like, she was very reserved and closed off. Like, I knew some things, but I didn't know everything either. And that's me being her best friend, you know? So it's beautiful, like, seeing her, like, grow throughout everything. I feel like for me, it's been a little bit harder to open up, just because, like, there's those thoughts in my mind that it's like, oh, like, I don't know if I want all these people knowing, like, every single, like, all these little details about me. Like, what if they create a story or they take it into their own perspective, or like stuff like that. So that's why I'm like, but I'm learning, you know, slowly but surely, especially with her as an example of her opening up, like, poquito poquito, like, I'm starting to.
Everyone at their own pace.
And I feel like a lot of time that's when people connect with you, like all of those episodes where we've been vulnerable is the ones where people are like, oh my god, I love you guys, like I it's good to know that I'm not the only one. And like we get those messages, and it just means a lot to me. And that's when I'm like, oh my god, like it's like I have to tell myself, like, okay, Angel, like, you're making an impact. And that was my goal in life, is like I want to leave this earth knowing that I contributed to it in some way.
I think you have. Yeah, I think you are.
You have a very powerful voice. Yeah. I love when I see people, I'm like, I want to learn how to speak like you. Like, you know, you have such a power. I don't know, like, the way you speak is so inspiring and motivating. Like, I'm not just saying it just because, you know, shit. But when I see people, I'm like, and I look up to them so much, I'm like, damn. Like, what the way they, like, are just so smooth with how, like, they just phrase things, and, like, how they've gone through things, and how they're still, like, standing strong. Like that to me, I'm just like, damn, like I want to be like them. Like I want, they're like, you're, you know, like it's just like those type of people are like, they're just inspiring me to keep going and like following my own journey too. So
oh god, don't tell me that, I'll start crying.
No, but I think that's true, because I think me and Jess have talked about that a lot too, where like me and Jess ended up together, I think, because we both knew our struggles, right? And like how hard it was to grow up the way we grew up. And so like Jess was able to connect to it, and so like she understands it, right? I don't think not many people will understand it. And so like even talking about like our father's stuff or like our mother's stuff, it's like not many people will get it, because they'll be like, you know, my mom loves me, and it's like, okay, like how's that, you know, like, but like
what's that like?
Yeah, exactly. But like with Jess, it's like I'm able to tell her like, okay, well, this is what happened in my life, and like she'll be like, yeah, I get it, because, you know, I also went through like very difficult things, you know, and like these financial aspects, because like it's crazy, because growing up, like money was such a big thing, because we had like none of it, right? And then it always like kind of felt stressful. But it's crazy because like with Jess, she also felt that same way, right? Like because we were talking about, right, her dad, and like her dad having financial trouble, and like the bankruptcy stuff, right? But Jess had to grow out of it, right? Like out of that struggle. And so like it was crazy, because in college, like I went to credit card debt in college. College was hard, because I think we spoke, right? Like once I went to college, my mom had no money, so there was no money to give me, but there was no help, right? And so I had to use credit cards a lot of times, right? Jess was the one that helped like bail me out, because she was working hard, right? Yeah. And so like Jess taught me about that. You know, Jess taught me how to drive too. It's crazy.
Wait, what?
Yeah. Because I'm telling you, my mom was like, you know, not really there, and like actually my mom drove stick shift, so she wasn't gonna
check her.
She wasn't gonna teach me. Yeah, she was like, I'm good, I don't want to teach you. But Jess taught me, and so like it's these things that you're able to connect to with your partner. The struggles are what brings you together, because now she knows, like I know that Jess doesn't like take anything for granted, right? Like everything that we have and have worked for, like she knows how difficult it's been to get to that point. And you know, like it's hard to sometimes find a person that could actually know that and understand your struggle. Because
we knew like from the beginning that when we met each other, that our families, like helping out our families was our priority, right?
Yeah.
Like yes, we were gonna be together, but in that point of our lives, we're really looking to, hey, we have to get through college because we have to find a job, and we're gonna have to help everyone out to, you know, for them to have them sustain somehow, because our parents are going to grow old. Like, who's going to take care of them? We have to, our younger siblings, like, we have to help them out if anything ever happens. So for a long while, I felt like we weren't selfish, right? Because we were like, we were put in this situation, and now we're the ones that have to like carry the weight of the family. So I felt like we kind of like that's such a bad mentality to have, but at the same time, I was like, why was I the oldest? Like, why did I have to be put in this position? Like, why do I have to take care of everyone? And it kind of puts you in that like you start seeing it right where like my brothers get to do what they would love right now, and I'm super proud of them for what they do. But there was like certain moments where I felt like I had to keep working and I couldn't live my dream because you know they had to like keep going, or like I wanted them to see that you know they could live the life, you know. And then so there's a point in time where I'm like, no, I have to be selfish, and I had to teach them that I can't be the only one to carry the weight. And I think Carlos saw that too with his family, because you know, with him helping out his mom and like, you know, his whole family dynamic and like the stuff that they went through. But I was just like, no, as older siblings, like we have to like know when we have to say no. There's like, it's just like I see it with like a lot of people who are the oldest sibling and they have a bunch of like, you know, I don't like saying this because for our families, like we're their retirement plan basically.
Oh my God.
You know, like it's like, yes, we came to this life, our parents love us, but you know, that mentality where like I'm gonna have a bunch of kids so then, you know, like I can get taken care of. Like I don't want my kids to go through that or like have them have that bear that stress. So, and it leads to a lot of like fucked up like mentality shit. But mental health, like there was a long time where I'm like I held so much resentment. I'm like I hate like my life. Like there was so many times where I told Carlos, I'm like, I don't know how I could keep going, you know, like I'm just like, I feel like I've dealt with so many things that I'm just like, how do I keep going? But he's always pulled me out of it. Like he's like, dude, I'm here for you. Like we're gonna get through it together. And that's why I appreciate Carlos so much, because he carries that weight now, and I don't want him to, but like we pull each other out of it, you know. It's just like, you're dealing with stuff, like let me pull you out of it. Like I'm dealing with shit, like Carl's like, you know, we're gonna do this and this. Like he's a planner type. He's like, you know, like don't, like I like try not to hide in my bubble, but he's just like, you know, this is how we're gonna fix it. We're gonna do this and I'm like so thankful that like I have someone like him, that I don't feel like I'm drowning anymore. I feel like we're slowly, you know, building each other up and growing together, and you know, helping out our families in a much different way, where I don't feel like where I, you know, like I just don't want to feel guilty about certain things. Like I feel I don't want to carry that stress anymore. And as my brothers grow older, like they understand now a lot more. So I felt like the overwhelming feeling comes when you're growing up, right? Because you're like, shit, like I'm the oldest right now. Like I have to figure shit out for everyone. But as everyone's growing up now, it's like, okay, like I feel a little bit more relieved. Yes, shit might happen here and there, but you know, it's just like in that moment in time, right? I was just like, why does everyone get to live a life that I could have lived if I wasn't the oldest? So
I feel like I could definitely relate to you on that, because I feel like being the oldest, you get parentified, and you're like the well, in my case, I was the third parent, you know. I was stuck in a way stuck with all these responsibilities that I just didn't want to, you know. I just wanted to be a kid and everything like that. But now I'm taking care of my siblings, and for a little while, I did hold a little bit of resentment, you know, because I'm just like, why can't I do like just not stress about things that these aren't even my kids. And I think that's a big part of why I kind of don't want kids now, because I feel like I've already had my sisters that I'm just like, I don't know if I want to do that again. And but definitely it does take a lot of healing and a lot of like thinking through that to kind of get away from resenting, because in like a way your siblings and your parents for putting you kind of in the spot, like why am I in this position, why am I struggling, why did I have to be the firstborn? Because then now I see my sisters, don't get me wrong, like I love the life that they have now, because of course now they could be free, do whatever they want, they don't have these responsibilities that I had. And also like my sister that que me sigue, she also got parentified basically, and it's just kind of beautiful seeing them just be them instead of like having to go through what I went through.
It's true, because like I mean, I think I share that same sentiment about like I don't want to have kids because of that, right? Like and it's very difficult to like, me and Jess have had this conversation a lot, because me and Jess talk about kids not that often, but like it'll come up sometimes, and we're already married, right? And we're already a little bit older, but I think me and her share that same thing. It's like like we know that there's plenty of people that have had kids, right, and they aren't rich and they've made it work, right? But I think for us it's always just been like, I don't know how we could hold that responsibility after us having gone through everything that we went through. Because it's just hard. Like I like you could, I don't know, like sometimes it feels like you could make any mistake with a child and they could like end up doing something wrong, or like maybe maybe it just like consumes you, right? And like there's always been those things, right, where like remember like where the dad ends up liking the kid more, right? And I think it kind of takes away from the mom, and then like the mom feels like she's not being loved anymore because the dad is now with the child so much, or like it takes away from that marriage stuff. And so we've talked about it, and like I think it's cool though because like Jess's parents are very like open. They're like they've never stressed this for kids ever.
Oh, that's good.
And I've appreciated that a ton. And neither has my mom. And I'm assuming because, you know, like she doesn't want to take care of another kid or like any of that stuff. But like it's just like so interesting to see that dynamic play out, right? How like, dude, like I don't know, man, like growing up and like seeing how tough it was, and then like I never want my kid to go through that, and thinking that way that they need to take care of me. Like I would never, like I always like joke around. I'm like, I want to die young because I don't want anybody to ever have to take care of me. You know, like I told Jess, like once I reach a certain age, I don't even want to drive anymore. I want to have a driver because I've seen how people treat old drivers. And I'm like, I don't want to get yelled at. Dude, I'm just trying to drive to the fucking CVS.
Like, someone get this man.
Yeah. Like I've told you, I'm very serious about that. Like I just want a driver. Like I want to make enough money where like somebody else could drive me because I don't want to be old. You know, like I don't want to have somebody take that responsibility. But yeah, and that's why like, yeah, Jess is like super strong. Like I and that's where I get that whole thing about like, if a person knows your struggles, then I think that that's how you're able to attach and know each other that much better. Because I've seen Jess like literally what you said, right? They become the parent of the whole family, and Jess has literally taken that whole thing, like getting their family out of like the bankruptcy situation, being like the breadwinner. Literally, there was a time when she was making more money than everybody else in the family because she had to, right? She had to work her ass off, and then she had to get the townhome that we bought so that everybody could live there, and then working again, right, to go buy our own place. And that's where we started feeling like we gotta start being selfish, because we spent all these years like
you gotta prioritize yourselves too.
Yeah, like I felt guilty like when we went to Europe, right? When we had our honeymoon in Europe, and we were out there for 3 weeks. It was a long time, but I felt guilty, you know, because there'd be times I tell my mom where I'm at,
where I'm like, my parents could be here, but we're the ones.
But at the same time, like we can't hold each other and be like, no, I'm not gonna go ever, you know, because if there was some way that I could help to get my mom there, then I would. Well, unfortunately, I can't, right? Just because of like, you know, immigration stuff and all that stuff. And same thing with Jess's parents, right? Like maybe they're working, they really can't get out of that work situation. But yeah, it's definitely a hard life to grow up, and it sucks because there's some people that like don't like people like that. Like they call them dinks. Like I don't know if you've heard of that.
No, I have
like
not.
A dink is dual income, no kids. So, you know, like that's us.
Oh,
like,
shit, me and Val.
Yeah, they're a dink, right? And like, cause like, I mean, I'm enjoying my life. I love my dogs. You know, and they're my kids. You know, and they're living it up. I'll spend every last dollar to keep my dog alive. You know, I don't care. But like, I like living that life because I don't feel like anybody should ever pressure anybody to have kids, right? And so like my life right now, I'm like, yeah, I enjoy my life with Jess. I could buy this and that, and people always say like, well, you could do that with kids too. It's like, yeah, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same.
Yeah,
you know, like having a kid and it literally is. Some people say like, oh, you only have them for 18 years, like it's the rest of your life, dude.
No, you're a parent forever.
I think you like once you have a kid, the stress and the worry for that kid is gonna be forever.
It
never stops.
And I think what you said before was that I want to do something big. Like I want to, and like I've spoken to Jess about it a lot. Even when I was like younger, I was like, I want to have like and this was back when I was younger, I was like, I want to have a scholarship fund named after me. But now it's just, I want to do something big. I want to do something bigger than me, because I want to be able to leave that footprint on the world, and just like, you know, like have them say like, oh yeah, that was him, you know, like
they say. There's this quote I heard, and it says, the best way to live your life is to outlive your life. So that way, like when you pass, it's like you're still technically living, because you've impacted the world so much. And that has been my goal too.
And I love that.
And I feel the same way. Like Val and I, we're in a place where we like don't even know if we want kids, and we're on the same page about that. And it's like I feel like having gone through what I had I'm not an older sibling. But I felt like a lot of responsibility was still placed on me because like me and my sister are like 5 years apart, but like I feel like my sister kind of did her own thing and I did mine.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, there was a time where I was taking care of her. Like I would fucking cook for her and I would be like, hey Iris, I made dinner. And it was just me and her because my mom was off working 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And then like I have to like I don't know if because then my sister started working when she was 16, and then my mom started like taking me to places with her because I had to translate. I was the one that my mom was like, hey, I need you to pay this bill for me. I need you to do this for me. So like a lot of that responsibility fell on me. And so, or like whenever shit had to get done around the house, I fucking was like handyman. Like I was the one fucking putting the fucking, the shade up or whatever. Like I was the one building things, or I felt like my mom and my sister relied on me a lot. And then when my sister had my nephew, she had my nephew when she was 18. I was 13. And I started taking care of him when he was about 3 years old. I started taking care of him full time, so I had to miss out on a lot of like school stuff, or like when my friends would go out, I'd be like, I can't, I'm watching my nephew. And like a part of me, there was a like I'm not gonna lie, like I love my sister and I love my nephew, but I feel like there was a little bit of resentment there because I felt like I fucking hate that I had to miss out on like regular school stuff because I had to take care of my nephew. And like I like I said, I love them, and I'm not like mad for like how things happen like now, but I've come to terms with it. You know, it's like I did miss out on some stuff, and like I know that there was stuff where my sister had to take, like if my sister wanted to go to a party, my mom would be like, llévate a tu hermana. And so I was there fucking at like a high school party, like, and I'm still hella little, you know. And so my sister did have to do that too, but I think it was different because I like, it's not like she did that from when I was very young. My nephew was 3, and I think when my sister started like technically watching me, I was already like a little older, you know. And like I was always I've always been a very responsible person, so like it's not like my sister had trouble with me. Like I fucking cooked for myself, I did my laundry, I did, you know, like I cleaned and I stuff like that. And I just got into the place where I feel like my mom has also relied on me on a lot of things, like, hey, págame este bill, o qué dice aquí, cómo hago esto, you know, like and there was a time when my sister did move out and it was just me and my mom, and I had to like bear the responsibility of helping her like navigate through life and different things. And I'm just like at a point where I'm like, me and Val are like, we're too selfish because he's also has his own story with his family, you know, and he's the oldest son in his family and he has his own story. But I feel like we're both in a place where we're like, we just want to be selfish and like we're not afraid to admit that. And it's like, and I feel like nobody else should be pressuring us into having kids because it's like we just want to focus on us and we want to do big things. And I feel like it's a little different when you have a kid because it's just, I'm not saying you can't do it, like you said, like you can do things when you have kids, but it's totally different situation. And I feel like right now we're just in a place where we don't want to have to worry about that. And who knows, maybe down the line we might have a kid, you know, but it'll be a different experience than from what we went through.
Yeah, I do want to do that. Like if we do, because I've told Jess, I'm like, if we have a kid, I want to take a year off of work, and I want you to take a year off of work because I want us to be able to like be there. I know that 1 year old is probably not like might not be like the life transforming life for a kid, but I think at least me and Jess will be able to grow with them at the moment that kid is like growing up right at 1, and then we'll like slowly transition back to work. But I think that's been the goal. But I think to even get to that position, we have to be a lot more comfortable off. So we're gonna take our time, and you know,
I 100% agree with that. That has always been a goal for me. Is if I were to become a mom, I want both of Val and I to like be full-time parents in a sense of like we don't have to leave to a 9 to 5. We don't have to be somewhere if we don't have to be, and we can be there full-time raising our kids together instead of us apart, you know? And that was always important for me because I like just how I feel like I feel like I had to grow up pretty fast. I had to bear a lot of responsibility from a young age, and I feel like a part of me is like, dude, like I wish I could have just been a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I see sometimes, like, the shit that, like, my nephew, like, I love how my sister does, I love everything she does for my nephew, but he hasn't had to worry about certain things that we had to as first gen.
Yeah.
And I just, like, sometimes I'm like, dude, like, I look at how other, like especially like the second gen is, like, my nephew, and I'm like, you're so lucky, dude.
Yeah.
Like I wish I could have just been a kid.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. I remember one time, like, we used to collect cans a lot because, like, you know, we needed the money. And I remember, like, I would just do it, like, on randomly because, like, for me it was so regular, right? Like, my grandma picking up cans from the street, like, myself picking up cans from the street. And I remember this guy, like, saw me one day, and I thought he was gonna, like, yell at me for, like, you know, just picking up the can. But then he was like, "You're picking up cans?" And I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You're gonna know the true value of $1, you know, when you're older." And then, like, I told my grandma that. She's like, "Yeah, I mean, he's right. You know, like, we don't have everything. That's why we need to do this. But you're doing this by yourself, right?" And so, like, all of that stuff, you know, just comes into play as you grow up and see like, my grandma didn't tell me to do it, right? But it was just like we were raised in that situation. I could have probably been home watching, like, you know, cartoons, not doing anything. But like, it's just the way you grew up, and it sucks that I have nephew. What is it, nephew? My cousin, right? Benjamin. Yeah, my cousin. He's growing up pretty good. And I like that for him, right? But at the same time, sometimes I think back to my child, I'm like, fuck, man, I didn't do anything fun. Like, in reality, like, I was always with my mom, like, going with her to clean houses, going with like, I think she had a boyfriend that used to clean carpets. I used to have to go with him, clean carpets, and I was like, fuck my life, dude. Like, and so for me, I was always like, damn, I always gotta do something, you know? Like, I wish I could just, like, chill. But yeah, it's a luxury.
Definitely.
Luxury.
And it's crazy because, you know how you were saying, like, first gen, like, because technically, well, I'm first gen, but also all my sisters are first gen. And even just, like, the difference, because we're pretty good age gap apart, right? The difference that we're all, like, the same basically kind of generation after, since our parents immigrated here, very different lives. Like I said, my sisters were, well, my two younger sisters, I'll speak about my two younger sisters because I feel like the one que me sigue, she, like I said, she also went through very similar struggles, now could do whatever they want. Like, I feel like I had the responsibility of always helping my parents, especially when it came to legal paperwork and everything like that. I was always there, pero nunca decía que no. Like, I was happy to help. And now my sisters, it's very different. Like, they have the option of, like, no, I don't want to do that. Like, they'll be like, no, thank you. And then my parents are like, oh, let me find another way to kind of make this work. But they don't have that, they don't feel that pressure of being like, oh, I need to help my parents, or else, like, how are they going to do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
That's true.
fuck.
That was one thing that I feel like Val and I, like, attracted both of us to each other a lot was how ambitious we both were. Like, even at 16 and 17-year-olds, we were a bunch of fucking kids, right? But, like, I think that ambition to want to do better for our family, because, like, when we first met each other and we started, like, talking, and we both were kind of like, dude, we don't want to be another stereotype.
Yeah.
We don't want to be that was one thing that we both said. We don't want to be another statistic. We don't want to be someone who, like, just gets pregnant young and has kids and then doesn't do good or whatever. Like, we just don't want to be, like, looked at and we're like, oh, those fucking Mexicans, you know? Like, we didn't want to be a stereotype. And I think both of us were like, we wanted to, and we had this, like, ambition of, like, such a business mentality of, like, we don't want our future to be in someone else's hands. And so both of us were so, like, what do we need to do para salir adelante and, like, help our families?
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to retire my mom, and I don't want her working anymore. And it hurts me because, like, now she has, like, a knee issue, and I, like, see her struggling every day, and, like, I know she's on the brink of tears sometimes, and it fucking hurts me to see her like that because I know how hard she works, and, like, I want to be able to retire her. And I know, like, his family, he knows all this, like, they have their own story of, like, being so fucking dirt broke, and he did the same thing. He used to collect cans when he was a kid, and so, like our upbringing is just kind of like, we want to do better for our parents because they've done so much for us, and it's kind of like we want to repay them in some way, and we want their at least second half of their life to be a little easier.
Yeah, facts. That's true.
Crazy.
Damn.
Okay.
Alright,
We are so overdue. We're so overdue. We're so overdue for a break, but I didn't want to cut it because it got deep. So we're gonna take another break, guys. So we'll be right back.
And we are back.
Back at it again.
Back.
With the white van. Just kidding. Just kidding. Okay, so we took a little break, guys.
My legs were falling asleep.
That got real deep.
That too.
Let's change it up a little bit and do something a little fun. So because we have Yo Sabo here with us, we wanted to do quick round of Yo Sabo.
Okay.
You guys down for it?
Yeah.
But we're gonna do words that we kind of just thought of.
Okay.
Let's do team edition. So you guys can give us a word, and then we'll come up with the answer.
Okay.
And then we'll give you guys a word. You guys can come up with a word with an
Okay.
answer.
Okay.
But the you guys have to give an answer. Like if you guys don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
you
You had
Yeah.
to make
Okay.
something
Okay.
up.
All right.
How many words?
Do you guys want to pull from your deck, or do you just want to come up with words?
I can pull from the second edition.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm prepared.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Yeah,
damn,
I
I think
heard
we
that.
can
Just
go through
have
that
the
deck.
Just have the list.
Okay.
Hopefully,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, I have
sheets.
sheets.
Okay.
Damn, she got the cheat sheet. over
okay.
there.
So let's do. You want to do 3?
Yeah, let's do 3. We'll
Okay.
do 3 words. Okay. First word. Do you want to give them a word?
Okay.
I already told you the words.
First word. ¿Cómo se dice platypus in Spanish?
Platypus.
Plátano.
Plátano.
Platonos. Platypus.
Platypus.
Was that dude Phineas and Ferb?
Yeah.
Pues, Perry the
Perry the platypus.
Hey! Oh man.
You're close.
Platypus. Oh, it starts with an O.
You're close.
Hocico.
Or
Hocico largo.
no.
Hey, look at that. La gorra, el sombrero.
I don't know where it's at.
Hocico largo.
No, it's I'm not gonna pronounce it right, obviously. Ortorrinco, something like that.
Orintorrinco.
Okay, see.
What?
Ornitorrinco.
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 Orinco.
Orin.
Hornito?
Ornito.
Hornito?
Torrinco.
Hey, that's it.
Oh yeah, Ornitorrinco.
Ornitorrinco.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey, but we'll
I
give you
didn't
guys
know
that
how to
one.
pronounce it, but I was like, wait, it's somewhere in my head.
Yeah,
Hey,
it's because that one, I forgot. How did that one come up?
I think I asked you.
Oh, yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You asked me.
Just random.
How do you say platypus? Gotta keep her on check.
All right. Wait, do I pick one?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Which one do you wanna?
Orintorrinco. It's a mouthful. Orintorrinco.
Oh, okay. It's an easy one. Or this one. Oh no, that one's.
We started off with platypus.
This one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. ¿Cómo se dice icicle?
I know this. Give me a second. Estoy en el rancho. Está el...
She's like visualizing.
Yes, I got it.
back.
Like a
I mean,
visual-
no me
I'm back at the
preguntes.
ranch.
You're in the coldest state. You should know.
Yeah, está el... well, make something.
Hocico
When you
again.
said icicle, I was thinking like the pop, like, you know, like the...
Las boli.
Los bolis.
Fuck, I don't know. I can't
That
remember.
one's hard.
Yes,
Icicle.
icicle. Algo con hielo, pues hielo.
Hielito.
Hielito.
Hielito puntado.
Okay, we have to come up with the word, Edith.
I'm over here guessing, dude.
Yeah, I know. Pica hielo?
I'll go with her.
Pikachu?
Pica hielo.
It's carambano.
What
Caramba.
the fuck? No, I would have.
I would have never guessed
I
that.
think we call it something else in my rancho.
I would have
It's not raw
never
Spanish.
guessed that. I would have never guessed that.
What the? How do you say? What was it again?
Carambano.
Caramba.
Caramba, no.
Caramba, no. Where's the accent?
On the A.
Dang, yeah.
Caramba, no. Okay.
Wow.
Dang,
Okay.
you know your accent, yeah.
I'm just asking because sometimes like I look at a word and it's like those like if they don't add an accent to it, I won't know how to pronounce it.
Mm-hmm.
I have to see because like sometimes how do I know it's carambano? You know.
That's good.
Okay. What was the other word? How do you say? ¿Cómo se dice? What was the word again?
Oh, you want me to say it?
Yeah, you say
Okay.
it.
¿Cómo se dice laziness in Spanish?
Laziness.
Vago?
No.
Vagando? No.
No,
Isn't that going out?
Yeah, it's like.
Oh, my bad. Huevón?
¿Cómo se
Huevón.
dice?
Yeah, well, huevón.
That's not the proper way. ¿Cómo se dice laziness?
All right, it's not vago. It's not huevón.
I mean, technically it is huevón, but una huevonada.
Laziness.
Una guayaba?
No. I'm going to say fachoso. I don't know.
Yeah, that's hard.
Can I get a clue?
It starts with a P.
Oh, that made it worse.
Remember, you can make up a word then.
Yeah.
Laziness.
Is it P-O?
Wants us to spell it out.
Where's the accent?
Yeah, I would have said huevón. Huevonada.
Well, technically, yeah. Like I feel, but that's like very slangy.
Yeah, it is literally slangy.
That's my guess.
Okay.
Oh, I kept saying vago.
The correct word is pereza.
Oh yeah, duh.
Really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Damn.
Yeah, when people
Like
say,
el perezoso, like the
Yeah.
sloth. Okay, got it.
Oh, really?
yeah. So perezoso is like the masculine way of calling somebody late, like a guy's calling him lazy.
Oh.
Or it's perezosa if it's a girl.
Perezoso. Perezoso?
Perezoso.
I'll remember that.
Yeah, but it's pereza. Or when people are like, ay, que pereza. Like, oh.
What about perezonte? Is that a word?
What?
This is why I picked the words. Let's see. All right, let's do this one.
Nah, that's too easy for them.
Nah, just do it.
All right, ¿cómo se dice download in Spanish? Download.
We work on the computer all the time. We're downloading files.
I've definitely seen this word.
Yeah, me too.
They say it all the time.
Descargando?
Yeah.
There you
Damn.
Yeah, this got
See, I knew they were going to get it. I knew it. Who called it? I knew it.
go. I'll give you guys an easy one.
Okay.
¿Cómo se dice rude?
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 It's not mala.
What? I want to say the Spanglish.
What's the Spanglish? I don't even know.
Like rudo?
Well, my mom actually uses ruda, but there's another way to say rude too.
Yeah, what's the proper one?
Rude. What's the first letter?
When I think of rude, que like no seas ruda, I think
Yeah.
of
It's
like la planta. Fuck.
Oh, yeah. Rude.
No seas
Come on, you had to have
No
heard this
seas.
growing up. No seas.
envidioso.
No.
that's-
No.
No seas.
Just is like shut the fuck up.
I don't know.
Wait,
We had to have heard it because our parents for sure told us don't be rude to guests.
No sass. Oh my god.
I heard
why
this growing
can't-
up so much.
Oh my god,
sass.
why? See, this is. I hate getting put on the spot. This is why we created the game.
No seas.
Oh my god, I'm gonna be so mad when I hear it. I bring the shots out. I'm just kidding.
She's like my dry streak ends right now.
Dude, I can't.
It's
think
not
of
rudo.
it. I
But
know.
rudo is used. right?
Yeah,
Rudo is
my
used.
mom's used it.
Okay.
Okay, tell me. I'm embarrassed.
Grosera. or
Oh
grosero.
my
Yeah.
god.
See?
No seas
seas
grosero. No
grosero.
seas grosera.
Yeah, I'm trying to be over here proper and shit. Can't
Show
think
here
of
adding accents and shit. Like,
Damn.
Oh my gosh.
All
okay,
right,
that was
last
a good
one.
one. That was
Last
such a
one.
good one.
You're like adding them to the list.
I know, right? Just happy right now as she's reading it.
You know what's funny? Because sometimes I see words and I'm like, nah, it's too easy. And then you give me the easy ones, and I freaking can't even get it.
It's because when you get put on the spot, you
Yeah.
can't. Your brain doesn't think.
That's why Cross when we created the game, he's like, just put any word. Like he's like, you already created a list, and I wasn't content with it. I was like, it's too easy. He's like, who cares? Like people don't know, or they probably don't even speak Spanish, and they can still play it. Or, like if
Yeah.
they're trying to learn it for the
Yeah.
second language or something.
Definitely.
Okay, you picked the.
Oh,
Last
where's the
one.
one that was having?
Yes, word.
Oh, ¿cómo se dice yeast in Spanish?
What kind of yeast?
Like the baking.
The baking yeast?
Yeah.
Levadura.
Mm-hmm.
Damn!
You carried this one, Edith.
I'm in disbelief. How'd you know that?
My mom she bakes.
Yeah?
So, yeah. So we have levadura all the time.
Good.
Levadura. Is it because it levitates the bread up?
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
That's crazy. All right. That was good.
All right, that was a good little round.
Dang. I learned
All
something
right,
new.
we stumped you guys.
I know.
How many did we stump you with?
3.
All of them.
3, right?
Oh, was it all 3?
No, because it gets the first
You
one.
guys kind of guessed.
Oh,
it.
the
Just
platypus.
did.
Rinco.
Kind of.
Just like half a point.
Yeah.
I'm like 0.
You were just throwing words.
I know, he's just like, I don't know, Jess. What is it, Jess? Okay, so we are going to move on to our segment, Chisme Palmetiche.
Damn,
So you guys get
Chisme
to hear this
Palmetiche.
I know.
We've got
I'm
some
excited.
we got some pretty like crazy
There's some
cheese.
I know, I
raunchy
heard.
ones out there.
Yeah, sometimes we can't believe it. We're like, really?
Dude, sometimes I think like, fuck, people gotta be making this up, but then they get so detailed that I'm like, there's
And
no
then
way.
A lot of times they message us and go into more detail. And I'm
Yeah, they'll be like, oh my god, guys, so I forgot to mention this part, and they'll tell us what they forgot to add. Okay. Okay. Here we go. Did I wait? Sorry, guys. I just make sure I gotta. No, it didn't. It didn't make it big. Okay, whatever. I'll just have to
Is
read
you
it.
reading?
Yeah, I'll read it because it's small. Okay. Hola, chicas. So this is a chisme my great grandmother told us during lunch when we were visiting.
Great
That's how you know. Great grandmothers. It says, we live in a small pueblo in Michoacan. We were visiting during the festival time in honor of Pueblo's patron saint. According to my grandmother, a man, we call him Luis, had just bailed his wife, we'll call her Anna, from jail. According to my abuelita, Anna had been arrested because the police caught her fucking a young guy in a car. Apparently, this was not the first time Anna had cheated on Luis. My abuelita claims that when Luis went to bail Anna out, she acted as if she had done nothing wrong. Apparently, Luis knows about his life or about his wife's cheating, but is very much a doormat. Love you guys from South Carolina.
God damn.
And he bailed her out for
And he
it.
bailed her out. Dude, you catch your partner cheating, or they get caught. Are you bailing them out? Are you bailing them out?
Well, I don't think
She's like, peace.
peace out. Peace out.
I'm not bailing them out.
No,
I'm
fuck
like,
that shit.
quedas ahí. Like, I'm not.
Lo mereces.
Wow.
Damn.
Damn.
Because you're bailing them out and they're coming home with you for sure. Yeah, so where are they gonna go, right?
Oh hell no! If I caught or if Val got caught and then he's in I'd be like, peace out. You staying there?
Why'd you get arrested? I robbed the bank. And did you get there? It's like, yeah, nah. I
Robbed
didn't rob no bank.
All of this is public record. Well, at least here, I know. Like, if you go to the court, you can see when people.
Oh,
like,
why
yeah.
people watch? Damn.
Yeah.
I don't know how it is in California, but here,
I'm pretty sure, right? Yeah,
I
to
think
be able
so.
to.
my sister has like. Oh fuck! I'm already putting her business out
I
there.
know.
Whenever,
Putting your business
when
out there.
people have told me like they're dating such and such person, I'll fucking look them up in the courts.
I know.
I'm like, oh my god,
Oh, in
they
the court
do-
system?
Yeah, I
that's
fucking
smart.
check all because we have a few courts here, and I'll check through. I think there's like 4 different ones, and I'll fucking look through all of them, and I'll be like,
It's true though.
I'll be like, what's their date of birth? What's the fucking phone number? And I'll fucking be looking them up and shit. I become an FBI agent.
Yeah.
And so like when Edith starts dating, I'll be like, Edith, give me their info. I'm gonna look them up, and then I can see if like what they've gotten arrested for, even fucking speeding ticket. Like I look all that up.
Like scary shit. Remember the chick that got killed in the apartment building?
Oh yeah, that's crazy.
like we didn't hear about the before stuff, but in the apartment building next door to us, like a guy killed his girlfriend or the ex-girlfriend, right? His ex-girlfriend, and the mom found the body because the mom did investigate it, and she was like, nah, she was with him last, and like all this stuff. You never know, man. Like people,
like he left.
Yeah, he left, and she went because she knew where he lived, and so he walked in there. Yeah, our friends live in that apartment, and there was like a bunch of cops and like all that stuff.
That's crazy.
Yeah, no, that's scary.
That's true.
Once Edith starts dating, I'll be like, Edith, I need their info. I'm gonna start looking up where their fucking parents live.
Yeah.
I can find all that. One time someone texted Edith and she didn't have the phone number saved. She's like, Angel, can you find out who this is?
Because I deleted all the old numbers of people that I used to talk to, so I was like, I don't want to just respond. It seemed like they knew me, like the message, and I'm like, sent it to her, and she found out real quick.
Dude, right quick. I'm like, it's this person, but I was like, this is their name and this, and I'm like, this is where they live.
I'm like, okay, all right, don't reply.
She's like, I just went over. They're not home, but I'll go over again.
No, I will deep dive. It's part of my job sometimes. I'll be looking into people's personal lives. All right, next one. Hi guys, for this story, I need your thoughts about this situation. I have an older cousin, is super cool and chill. When I met his girlfriend, she was very sweet. However, my cousin's sister told us how this relationship came to be. Apparently, the girlfriend used to be with someone who was like a best friend to my cousin. They met in college and formed a strong bond. However, when that friend broke up with his girlfriend, he was very hurt, turned to my cousin for comfort. This is the twist. The girlfriend and my cousin got together days after the breakup.
Days?
Obviously, the friend was very hurt and likely felt betrayed. My cousin is no longer friends with the other guy. My mom later commented in private with me that she suspects that the girlfriend and my cousin likely had feelings for each other in secret. She doesn't think it's right of my cousin to get together with his best friend's ex, especially in a short amount of time. I think the same, but I want to give my cousin the benefit of the doubt. What do you think? I think they got together really fast. Like
I think there was probably already something.
I think so too. I agree.
There.
Yeah. Because like they had just broken up, and the friend's like, I'm hurt, and he's going to his friend, and then like days later hooks up with.
Yeah, no, I think there's a little something.
Yeah,
too, or at least some feelings there.
It's like the TV shows.
Well, I'm like, who broke up with who though? What did it say? Did she break up with him? Or did it say?
It says they had turned my cousin's. Oh, hold on. That friend broke up with his girlfriend. So the friend was the one who broke up with the girlfriend.
Damn.
Maybe he like suspected already something was wrong or off or whatever. I don't know. I have a feeling there was something there though. It's just crazy that someone would
like
do their
days
friend like
after.
that.
I know. And days after. Come on, it's not like you can.
Yeah, especially if it's a friend right there.
Yeah, because how do you like start dating them like that? You know, it's like there had to have been some kind of connection already or something.
Yeah,
that sucks. When people do their friends like that, I don't know. That's kind of. I think that's weird, especially because they're best friends, right?
Yeah.
I could. That's weird to me when people do their like. Is that really your best friend?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Dun dun dun.
Okay.
The music.
True. Girls, I want to start off by saying congrats on the 1-year anniversary. Thank you. Well, shit, I'm the 24 single female virgin again.
Oh, okay. Backstory. I don't know if you guys know, but I think it was earlier episodes, right? Mm-hmm. We had she came and she was what was her chisme? That she didn't know how to approach a guy, right?
Yeah, she didn't know how to approach a guy
because she's never like dated or anything like that, right? She was very to herself, and now she was gonna start dating, but she also like never had sex, and she kind of wanted to get it over with. But
She like wasn't she the one that she had approached like there was some guy that she kind of wanted to lose her virginity to, but then like the guy was kind of like flaky or something. I don't know. That's the backstory.
Dang.
Okay, let's see what she got. I thought I had found my man. This man seriously gave me hopes of something actually happening between us, but got ghosted. How sad. I can only assume he was being nice just to see if he could get into my pants. But since I told him not yet, he decided I wasn't worth the hassle. Any dating tips? Should I just not date for a while?
good, you avoided.
I know.
You dodged a bullet.
Well, I guess it depends though, right? Like, because you mentioned that she wanted to get it over with, but I guess she also said she found her man.
Yeah, I think right now, like she's like fell for somebody, right? Kind of like fell for somebody.
She said that she thought she had found her man and had hopes of something actually happening between them, and then got ghosted. But when he had like, I guess when they were gonna do something, she had said, "Oh, like not right now."
Oh.
Yeah.
But I feel like when someone tells you not right now and then they ghost you, it's kind of like you dodged a bullet because clearly that was their intention.
They just wanted to fuck.
Yeah, that was their intention.
Yeah. Have you guys ghosted people before you guys started dating?
No, I don't think so. But I think I could relate on the sex part because me and Jess waited a good while before we did that stuff.
That's
but like I
before he gave her the vitamin D.
but I appreciated it though, because like she meant the business, right? Like she was like, nah, she wasn't interested in like just giving it away and stuff. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like that's good. Like I'm willing to wait and stuff. Yeah.
But you actually wanted a relationship with her, right?
Yeah. That's why it took us a
yeah.
while, because we didn't get together until we had to return back from winter break in college. It was the next year already. Still freshman year, but it was the next year already.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
Any dating tips for her? Or she said, should I just not date for a while?
I think she should, because
yeah.
I forgot what podcast was talking about that recently, right? It's like, dude, like you said, you just dodged a bullet. Yeah. Like, you're good. Like, just get back out there.
There's different people out there.
No,
that guy was just
I mean, not.
No, yeah, definitely. I feel like you should definitely keep on dating. Don't let that discourage you. That's kind of like, because it seems from what the message said, you wanted like some sort of relationship with that person. That person didn't want the same thing, and it's nothing your fault or anything like that. It's just they just didn't want that.
Yeah.
They didn't want to wait or whatever the case was. They just wanted their fix, and obviously you weren't gonna give it up, and that's okay. You just gotta keep on.
Yeah.
Dating.
Damn. Actually, going back to the other girl about like he started going out with her friend right after.
Oh, the guy. Uh-huh.
Yeah, I remember one of our friends. They ended, and then he went with the girls whose name starts with an M.
Oh.
Yeah. There must have been something there for
Carl's
sure.
like piecing things together.
He's like,
but then
go
that
choose
one,
her back.
But then it reminded me because like they ended up breaking up, that couple, right? And then but she was like, she started dating again, and so it was like, you're gonna find your person. Like she found her person, and like we met him, and he's like an amazing guy. And we've had your other friend who also ended up getting divorced actually, and but now she found her guy. And it's like it works out. Like then you just gotta find your own thing. And if you didn't luckily end up in that fucked up place in your life where damn, I like fucked him and now he's gone, you dodged the bullet there. Like you're gonna find somebody always is gonna come to you like at the most random time, and like they're just gonna fit what you want.
Yeah. So any dating tips?
All
right, from the couple
don't
post.
From the couple that's been together for 13 years.
I know, I was about to be like, I haven't dated in 13 years. No, I'm just kidding.
But Jess used to leave me on red a lot. Jess would leave me on red a lot.
All right, homegirl, turn on your red receipt.
Yeah, imagine back in the day. Imagine. No, Jess used to leave me on red. But I was also like a really like dumbass kid too. I was 18. Like, when I met Jess, I was 18. And then a lot of it was just like trying to get her to like notice me, because because I don't think I'm that attractive at all. And so for me, I was like, shit, I gotta like convince her like I'm cool in some other way. And then,
you're like, I gotta let my personality come
literally, I had to do that. And I remember there's this experiment in chemistry where you're supposed to mix two things. I forget, again, it's been a long time, but you're supposed to mix two things together, and it's a titration, right? When you're titrating something, and so like each drop will change the color of what you're mixing into, but you have to be super careful, because if you put too much drops in, it changes the color to completely like pink, and that's not what you want. You want like the lightest shade of pink. And so, like, I remember I did that to Jess. I was like, you're my partner, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was, like, showing her, like, my titration skills. I'm like, this is the only thing I got.
And I was like, nerd.
Nerd, and she left. Imagine. I'm out. Thanks for the grade.
Okay.
I
Cool
just
shit,
needed
bro.
a good grade.
Yeah. But it was funny because, like, imagine I showed the picture to you.
Oh
I have this
gosh,
picture
no.
of Jess that I have in my wallet that it was kind of what made me was like, oh, yeah, I want to end up with her. Because she, like, looked cool in that picture.
Dude, don't show it. Don't
I won't
show
share it because I don't have my wallet on me.
Yeah.
It's over there. But like, I was like, damn, this picture is like, you know.
Okay, Jess, what attracted you to Carlos? Was it the personality?
Is that what you think?
No, yeah, I think it was just the humor.
Yeah.
Like, he was always cracking jokes, and I was like, I don't know. I was more of a serious person where I'm like, no, I'm going to school.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't, like, no one comes in my...
You were tunnel vision?
Is
Yeah.
that why you would leave him on red all the time?
Yeah.
I'd be like, yeah, oh my God.
Yeah.
God, she's like, I
And she had
got
her
more
own
important
life.
things to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because she would go home on the weekends.
Yeah, I'd be like, no, it's go to class, go back, like, do all this stuff. And then
Yeah.
he'd be like, you want to hang out, blah, blah. And I'm like, no, I'm busy. And like, or he'd be like, do you want to work on this assignment? I'm like, no, I finished it already.
Yeah, Jess
Damn.
was very studious. Yeah, she helped me a lot in school the first
Well,
year.
Carlos
too.
was my first real boyfriend. Like, I didn't talk to guys in high school like that. Like, I didn't date in high school. I didn't have a boyfriend in high school. Like, for me, it was always like, no, just go to school and like go to college and all that. So then, right when I met Carlos, he's technically my first boyfriend. So I've never dated before.
First and only, damn.
Yeah.
She said
Ooh.
first. Yeah. First. She's like, I have one of those down the line. I told Jess, I was like, actually, have you guys talked about that, you and Val, about like if one of you dies, like do you want to let your partner?
I told him
date?
he's not allowed. I said, I'll haunt you.
Yeah.
I'm
Me
just
and Jess
kidding.
have talked about that.
I'm just kidding. I feel like we have talked about it, and I think ultimately, like, I feel like his happiness means a lot to me.
Yeah.
And I feel like, first of all, we've been together for so long. I mean, you guys know, like, you've been together for so long too. But I feel like we've been together for so long. It's like, obviously, like, I feel like if I were just like a spirit and I could see him, it would hurt to see him with somebody else. But I feel like ultimately, like, I feel like if it were to make him happy to be with somebody else after my passing, then I would be okay with it. But I still joke around. I'd be like, you're not allowed to be with anyone else. Like, it's not
I'll
going
say
to
that
work.
to Jess. Yeah. I'll be like.
Yeah.
It's funny because we'll joke around because like in Grey's Anatomy, like they take different flights because when they travel together, because they don't want to, like, you know, if someone dies, they don't want the other person to die. Or if you have kids too, right? You take different flights. That way you're not on the same flights. Yeah, so we've talked about that.
But yeah, it was his humor.
Yeah.
Like, he's just super talkative, and then eventually I'm like, damn, like, he's pretty funny. And then
give him a
everything,
chance.
and then I saw how much drive he had too in college. I'm like, okay, this is competition, so.
Yeah, I think that's what really helped out a lot because Jess hasn't given up. Like, there's been a lot of things where it's just like outpace yourself. Always challenging yourself. Like, I've never felt stagnant with Jess.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Like, I always felt challenged. I'm like, oh damn, he's doing this, and this. Like,
Yeah.
he has that drive. Like, you know.
Yeah.
So for dating tips, I don't know, just.
I think you have to be open though. You have to be willing to date. I think a lot of people will be like, I'm open to dating, and they'll go to a bar and not talk. You know,
Yeah.
and it's like, you know,
That's a good one, actually.
true.
you gotta be
Being open to date.
talking. You know, like actually letting yourself
Putting
get
yourself
talked
out
to,
there.
and then go talk to someone else. Like, oh, beer are you having? You know, like going to a brewery and like trying to make that conversation happen.
I know people have standards, and they should have standards, but you know, like, if it happens with the person and it's just like, oh, it's not what they look like, or like not what I wanted them to look like in a certain way
Yeah.
or whatever, I don't know.
Where are you going with that? I just feel like
No, for me, you're amazing. No, I'm talking about like other people who have higher standards, but for me, I feel like
oh, keep going.
No, but for me, I was just like, Carlos was perfect for me. So
yeah, I feel like a lot of people have like a fairy tale mentality, in a sense of like any little bump in the road, they could be like, oh, we're not meant to be together, and it's like boom, like that they're ready to move on, or they start thinking, because a lot of people also who grew up with like a very like a lot of trauma, or like there's a lot going on in their lives growing up, they're so used to chaos. So when they're in like a healthy, stable relationship, they start to think that it's boring. They're like, oh my god, like I don't know, it's just like they don't feel the excitement or whatever, but it's not even the excitement. They're confusing excitement with trauma response. They can't distinguish the difference, so they think like, oh, this is boring, and then they start wandering and they start thinking like, oh shit, like how could it be with that person? Or they start like, look, you know, and that's how cheating comes and all that stuff. But I feel like people are so quick to like have this fairy tale mentality of like, it's always going to be exciting. It's always going to be this, you know, like, they don't realize that like relationships take a lot of work. They're hard work, and you have to nurture them. You can't just be like, oh, little bump in the road, we're not meant to be. Or they can also like I said, like they think a stable relationship could be boring, and so they like are like, no, I'm not happy.
Yeah, I think that's true. Like a bump on the road could be like, oh, he got late to your date. And then it's like, some people might take it as like, I'm out. He's not prioritizing me. But it's like, what if you literally was late because he passed out at the car night? You know? What if, you know? What if that happened?
That's true.
And like, it's not that he was dissing you. It's literally like, he was just late. Yeah, I think it's important to be open to those things.
Yeah.
A lot of our friends have gone on dating apps, huh? Yeah. What is it, Bumble? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. There's two of our friends that like.
No, it was Coffee Meets Bagel or some
I've heard of
like
that one too.
That was like you meet your husband for some reason. Like two of my friends, no, actually not three. They've met their husbands on there. Yeah. And I'm like, damn, that works.
You might need to
You see, I've tried dating apps, but they overwhelm me. They overwhelm me. Like it's just so many conversations, and it's just like, oh.
It's like speed dating almost.
Yes,
exactly. You gotta start over every time.
Yeah, and it's just sometimes it's just exhausting. But I definitely like, I'm working on like this last year. I took the year off from dating because I just wanted to concentrate on myself, concentrate on what I loved and everything like. So this year I'm going back to dating. So we'll see how that goes. So we're in this journey together, girl. Whoever submitted that Chisme. But I definitely think that you should, I've said it before in other podcast episodes, take the time to kind of like sit down with yourself, not really focus on the looks that you want. It's more so like the personality factors, morals, ethics that you see in a person that you want them to have. Write that down and stick to that. So whenever you meet a person, it's like you have your core values that you see in a person. If they don't meet those core values, then you know that it's not the right person, you know? But tampoco no te fijes in the personality or the little things that you could like maybe compromise in. They're just focus on your things that you can't compromise on. And then if they have that, great. You could probably look past like the little things, like maybe being late on the first date because something happened and stuff like that.
Or their height.
But I feel like the height. I think definitely you have to like set it clear of what you really want, and then go out into the world and look for that person.
Yeah.
So.
Also, don't overlook red flags.
Yeah, don't overlook. Just because everything, like maybe they got the looks and everything like that, and you have those, what is it? The pink colored, the rose colored glasses, and you don't see the red flags. No, don't do that.
Yeah. Also, because what I said, like, oh, like, people have a fairy tale mentality. Yeah. And so, like, people are so quick to jump out of a relationship because they're like, no, it's not meant to be. Also, don't stay in a relationship because you think it's a little bump when it's not, really not. Like, if it's a red flag. If it's a clear red flag, like, address it. Because I've always said red flags in dating become black holes in like, marriage. Dang. Like,
that's good.
Because it's like, I feel like once you're married, like, I feel like it magnifies all the red flags that were there when you were dating. Should we move on to the next one?
Yeah.
All right. Hilarious anecdota? What?
Anecdote. Right?
It has an accent.
Oh, no.
Ancedota?
Anecdota.
Yeah, that's what
is
they
it
said.
anecdota?
Yeah,
is that an anecdote?
I think it's an
Oh,
antidote, right? Damn, they try to get fancy.
know.
Hey, another word for you.
They knew we were here. Yeah.
Okay. Once in my work, we were celebrating Dia de Reyes Magos, and we have the costumbre to give a slice of rosca to all the employees. When we were about to start, one of my coworkers, we were all from Human Resources. Wait, hold on. We were all from Human Resources. Hermanas, haha, forgot to mention. What does that mean?
Human resources. Oh, like
Hermanas?
that's their crew, right?
Like sisters?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Help.
Oh, they're like sister. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. HR
Okay, I was
sisters.
like, what are they trying to say?
HR sisters.
I'm like,
They're HR sisters? Okay. Okay. We were about to start. One of my coworkers, George, does not have a finger.
What?
wait, stories all over the place. I feel like you can't keep track.
Okay.
Okay.
It says George does not have a finger. The pinky one. It mentions the pinky one. It says the pinky one. He lost it in an accident in his work as a tortilla.
This is so
tortilla.
He lost his pinky.
Wait, what does it have to do with the HR sisters?
Fucking lost. Oh my god. Okay. So the thing is that Lori. Who's Lori?
Oh god.
Oh my god. Okay. So the thing is that Lori started to laugh because she thought he didn't put his glove correct.
Oh, that's fucked up.
She thought he didn't put his glove correctly. Damn. She just yelled, Jorge, no se puso bien los guantes.
Oh my.
And we said, seriously? No tiene dedo. And she said, no mames. And we all laughed. Saludos, hermanas, desde Zacatecas.
No, it ended so quick.
Like, why did I think this was gonna be like so long? It went like nowhere where I thought it
I
was
love how
gonna
they
go.
brought up the rosca. Why did they bring the rosca? Was it like the gloves
No,
to
okay,
cut the...
so yeah, he was cutting the rosca. He put the gloves on.
And then the coworker Lori thought he didn't put his glove on right, but he just doesn't have a finger.
Yeah.
Have you guys ever done anything crazy at work like that? Like,
What?
said something incorrectly?
Like out of pocket?
I guess out of pocket or like... okay, so I have a story. Like, one time I was talking smack about a coworker to my
Oh
friend.
gosh.
And I sent a screenshot of what they responded, the coworker, right? Responded to me. And then I texted that screenshot to the coworker. And then I was like, oh shit, that was, like, I was just like, I literally, like, I was like, my bad. And I was like, dude, I never could face them again, ever.
I would quit and leave.
Oh my
Yeah,
god!
it
Like,
was
did you say
awkward.
something like bad? Like,
Yeah,
like,
I was basically asking like why they gave them the opportunity that they received because they weren't a good worker, and they weren't. And I was being honest because like,
Yeah.
and that's why I ended up leaving that job. But I was like, dude, and then I texted my homie. I was like, yo, my god, you don't believe just happened,
This
dude.
shit that I was in.
Yeah,
Yeah, Chris was like, how do I fix it? I'm like,
there's no
There's no way.
There's no way to fix
There's
There's
it.
no way to fix it.
I mean, like nowadays you can unsend a message.
Yeah,
But
yeah, but back then. And it sucked because like my friend that I was talking to, we were considered the outsiders of the group.
Yeah.
So it's like even worse because these people were like, the people that were in, the company.
Yeah.
Oh, because we're contractors, so technically we have to like show that we're like good workers to get hired. And then I sent that. I was like, fuck. I
like,
couldn't take it
let me-
back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you ever done anything crazy at work?
at work or like, fuck, I'm trying to think. Have you?
No, I don't think so.
I think I've been pretty good.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think so. I've also been like pretty good at not. I've also kept my distance with a lot
Yeah.
of like jobs and stuff.
Yeah.
I wouldn't call this crazy, but like, okay, so I got let go from one of my jobs because I had my nephew there with me. But I don't even think that's crazy. So my sister needed someone to watch my nephew, and my mom was like, I have to go to work. And so they had their shifts were kind of like they would drop my nephew off in passing, but like something happened where my mom had to leave early or something, or my sister was getting off later. So they didn't have anywhere to leave my nephew. And so I'm over here at my job, and my mom or my sister was like, hey, can we just leave Andre there for a little bit? And then she's like, as soon as I'm off work, like I'm gonna go pick him up. And so the way my setup was is like I had like these kind of like banners behind me, and what's it called? I had like a desk that I sat at with my computer, but there was these banners behind me, and I sat my nephew back there, and he was like on his iPad. He wasn't like running around or doing anything crazy. He was literally, he had his headphones on and he was just on his iPad, and he wasn't doing anything. But that fucking day of all days, this person from so I used to work for Lyft, and but not like as a driver, like I actually worked for the company. Yeah. And so somebody from like a different like state or whatever, she worked for corporate too, but like a different state, came to Vegas, and she just popped up and showed up there. And she showed up, and she's like looking around and asking me questions, and then she like walks behind the banners, and she sees my nephew, and she's like, who's the kid? And I'm like, oh, that's just my nephew. But I was trying to play it off it's just my nephew, but I said it all confidently. And then she's like, oh, okay. And then she just like kept asking me questions and like talking to me and stuff, and then she left. And then, but she went back and told HQ, she told headquarters that I had a baby with me behind the counter. So she lied, and I lost my job.
Dang.
Yeah.
Snitch.
I know.
Right?
You should have been like, this is our youngest employee.
For real. He's the kid that does my errands for me. No, but yeah, I don't think I've ever done anything crazy. Like, even like when I talk shit about coworkers, I was very careful about, okay, so because I've worked, especially because I've worked in law for so long, that I know that, like, it's terrible when you have shit in writing because people can use it against you. Yeah. People use that shit against you. Yeah. So I've made sure that, like, if I ever write anything down about a coworker or nothing, like, I always make sure that, like, okay, I'm in the right group chat and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
I don't trust no one.
You gotta make sure where you're at, because there'll be times like, because at work I use Teams.
We use Teams too.
Yeah, so like people like when people mistakenly message the wrong group.
Dude, I hate that.
Dude, and then you'll see the message deleted. It's like, I saw it.
You weren't fast enough.
Time, dude.
I actually just fucked up like that the other day, but it was nothing serious. Like, so I was one of my coworkers gave me cheesecake that her tia made, and so I was like eating the cheesecake at my desk, and it was hella bomb. And we have a group chat between like certain people, and then there's like the office group chat, and not the whole office. We have different offices, right? Yeah. So it was like that specific office though, and in that one there's like 20 of us. And so I was eating the cheesecake. I'm like, damn, this was bomb. So I fucking messaged my friend, and I'm like, damn, your tia got down with the cheesecake. And then I didn't realize I sent it to the whole office. And then I was like, as soon as I saw that it was the whole office, I fucking deleted it, and I replied error with a laughing face. And then my coworker who sits next to me, she saw it, and she's like, what the fuck are you saying? Got down with the cheesecake? And then I was like, my bad, I meant to send it to my other coworker. But that was like stupid. It wasn't like, I don't know, I was just very curious.
It wasn't bad like that.
That
was bad.
Yeah,
that was bad.
No, that was bad. I had a coworker try to like send me message like talking shit about another coworker, and because she did it on Teams,
oh my god,
I don't know if she realized that they can fucking see that stuff. And so I was just like, oh damn, that sucks. Like I was just being very careful. I'm hella careful when it comes to that.
Damn, that sucks. Have a good meeting. Bye.
But no, I don't think I've ever done anything crazy like with work or anything. But that was wild.
Yeah, that was bad.
I'd be mortified.
I was like,
your heart.
I was over. I'm getting fired tomorrow. Guys.
I did that to a friend one time where like they had sent me something on Snapchat, and I forgot that Snapchat lets them know when you screenshot, and I screenshotted whatever they sent me, and I was like, I forgot God, that they get notified when you screenshot. And I replied and I was like, oh, my bad, girl. Like, I accidentally, like, I don't know what the fuck bullshit I came up with.
She got on her phone 40 screenshots.
God.
No, but, yeah, no.
All right.
That's funny.
All right, I think
Okay. Wow, guys. That's long.
that's a long episode.
So-
I think this is our longest
Yeah.
episode. Really?
Yeah. This is
You
our
can
longest
just talk.
episode.
Damn, that's wild. I could have sworn the last time we checked it was 1.
I don't even know what time we started though.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think it was like
feel like
11.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Because the convo was just flowing.
I know.
Yeah, the combo was just flowing.
So if
but-
you made it this far, you're a real one.
yeah, you're a real one. What should they hashtag if they made it this far?
Hashtag
Yo
Yo
Sabo.
Sabo.
Damn.
Oh.
Hashtag Yo Sabo. There we go.
But yeah, I want to thank you guys again for
Thank
coming
you,
out.
guys.
It means so much. It means so much, and we're gonna party a little bit later.
Oh yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are. Are we doing an after party?
Yeah. Do you want to?
Okay, we can do an after party. All right. So we just started. Okay, so we just started our Patreon, and we're calling it the after party. So this is like uncensored. We're basically being more real than we already are. We usually try to keep those shorter, but yeah. Are you guys down for the after party?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, but we're gonna cut this short. If you
Yes.
guys haven't subscribed to our Patreon,
What are you doing?
yeah, go subscribe. We having a good time.
Yeah.
The link is in our bio on Instagram, or if you're on YouTube, it'll be down below. What's our outro?
Oh, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube, and also if you're hearing us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, make sure to follow and leave a 5-star review. If they don't have a 5-star review, what are they gonna do?
They're gonna hit the DMs.
We'll talk about it maybe.
We'll round table it.
Yeah.
Round 2.
Also, do us a big favor, guys. Go, if you don't already do, but go check out Yo Sabo.
Do you guys wanna like give your social media?
Yeah.
Like, do you guys wanna?
Yeah, don't forget to follow Yosabo the Game at yosabothegame.com. Wait, no. It's Yosabo underscore the game. But you can find us at yosabothegame.com. Yeah, all our social media handles are Yosabo underscore the game. And then thank you, because we're a small business. It's just me, Jess, Vic, and Grandma. Working out of a garage. So anything, we really appreciate it. But yeah, I do want to say thank you again for having us. Yeah. It was a blast. It's been
Definitely try Yo Sabo, guys. This game is super fun.
Even my parents really liked it.
Yeah, we have a few episodes where we've played it and we've had a great time.
Yeah.
Turn it into a drinking game.
Yeah.
Oh,
That
yeah.
makes it fun.
That makes it
Get those
real
shots
fun.
flowing.
Yeah, take shots. But yes, guys, all of our friends, go follow Yo Sabo. What is
underscore?
it?
Underscore the game. Yeah.
Yo Sabo underscore the game. They're a great time. Pero ahí
Go
los
support a small
dejamos.
business. Pero ahí los dejamos, como dijo Ángel.
Que Dios los bendiga. Besitos.
Besitos.
Adiós.
Bye.